And hello, how are you, friend? You doing good?
Are
Um,
you going to be Saturday? Are you going to be at the thing Saturday? You won't be there, will you? The
what?
Hall of Fame for Carter County. You ever heard of it?
Oh, yeah, I may be there this coming
My
Saturday.
son got it.
Your son got in it
Is that, yeah?
in the Hall of Fame, Carter County Hall of Fame. What's his name?
Robert Humphrey.
Robert Humphrey. What's he in there for?
Baseball.
For which school?
UNECA.
Unaka Baseball. Robert Humphrey's going to be in the Carter County Hall of Fame. And his mama's here. Tell me, are you going to be there for that?
Of course.
Because I want to see you be there and cheer on my boy.
That's right.
That's awesome. That's good. Good morning. I guess you know where we are. We're at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number, what we got? Number 2296. Axel Steins keeps me posted. 2296 is the show. And is the bell working? It is. Good. So, good morning. Thanks for being with us. We're here again. We got lots to talk about. College football, the ever changing landscape of college football. It's changing again. And it's all, look, before we even get into it, I'm just going to tell you, you know this. And the article will tell you this. The SEC and the Big Ten are going to drive the bus. They are driving the bus. At the end of the day, they will drive the bus. They own the controls of the bus, known as the college football playoffs. It's real simple. So the SEC, or I'm sorry, the ACC and the Big 12 can go on all they want to about what they want, but what they're going to get is what they want, and that's the SEC and the Big 10. Real simple. We'll talk about that. Terry Bradshaw says Aaron Rodgers needs to go back to California and eat bark and whisper to the gods. I love it. Hit that. He said, "Are you kidding me? He's holding up a franchise and letting him do it." We'll talk about that. Andrew Smith will be here at the bottom of the hour. Mr. Baseball joins us a little bit later on. Talking baseball. Lots going on in the bigs, obviously. The Braves are faltering. I don't know what's going on. There's something wrong in Atlanta. I don't know what it is. You can say it's the pitching, but it's got to be. There's more to it. They got too much talent to be where they are. I don't know what if there's problems in the clubhouse. Don't know. Not trying to start anything, but I'm just telling you, they're better on paper than what they're showing on the field. Plain and simple. You take a team, the two hottest teams in baseball right now are the Philadelphia Phillies and the Detroit Tigers. We'll talk about that with Mr. Baseball. Why are they where they're at? How about that? And then also we'll be joined by Brendan Swaney, Assistant Athletic Director of Milligan, just wrapping up a banner athletic season. We're so excited about being involved even more with Milligan University next year. Whoo, gonna be good. Anyway, that's all coming up. We got baseball, we got the NBA, we got the WNBA. The findings about the racist remarks. Tell you about that. Yeah, that didn't go far. And so we'll tell you all about that. Let's get it cranked. Let's get it started. How about Daniel McCauley? He's not sang it for a while. The national anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 2296.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in there, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As soon as Mr. Steve walks in, it's like a ray of sunshine has entered our restaurant.
Sure is nice to hear.
For his 100th birthday, we wanted to do it as big as possible.
That was someday, I'll tell you.
Customers came in, brought gifts and cards.
When I walked in and they all clapped, that was quite a surprise to me.
It's a really warm feeling in your heart to know that your father's got other people looking out for him.
We decided to give him free Chick-fil-A for life.
One of my main reasons I want to live forever.
I think you got it in you.
And back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I got to show you this real quick. One of my bucket list things, because Jerry brought this to me. One of my bucket list things is I want to learn how to play the banjo. And I'm going to learn how to play the banjo. Got some downtime now here in the summer. Don't know how far I'll get. This guy's been doing it for 55 years. He's from Gray. World-renowned banjo picker. Used to be with the Paul Williams Trio and Jimmy. Let's see, who else played with Jimmy Martin? I think he's told me. I know the Paul Williams Trio for sure, which is a big deal. Anyway, he's told me for about 7 years, I'm going to bring you this thing how to play the banjo. So, okay, so I ran into him here a couple of weeks ago. He said, I'm going to bring it. There it is. How about it? Hit the bell. I love it. The Key to Bluegrass Banjo Instruction by Jerry Keys. 55 years he's been doing it. 7 years out of the blue. And you know what the best part is? Man kept his word. I'd forgotten all about it. Really haven't had time to do it, but since we're off here for the summer for sports, we're going to go get us a banjo. We're going to learn how to pick. Slowly but surely, and I don't know how long it's going to take because I'm musically challenged, but he said, you can do it, big guy. And I said, okay. So thank you, Jerry Keys. He said, 6 months, I want you to be able to play on the air. I said, whoa. It puts it right around Thanksgiving. That's pressure. So we'll see. But anyway, one more time, thank you, Jerry Keys brought me this. The Key to Bluegrass Banjo Instruction by Jerry Keys from Gray, Tennessee. Been all over the world. He's played for 55 years. He's taught ETSU Bluegrass Group. I mean, he's taught a bunch of them. So he thinks he could teach me. So, or the instruction DVD can. So we'll see. I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks. We're about to find out. All right, so we promised you yesterday we'd let you know. And so Tennessee plays Miami, Ohio in baseball at 6 o'clock on Friday night in Knoxville. Tennessee at 43-16. They will play Miami, Ohio. Miami will come in with a record of 35-21. The Buccaneers of East Tennessee State playing in Nashville against Louisville. East Tennessee State 41-15. Incredible year for the Bucs and Coach Benucci. They're 41-15. Louisville at 35-21. And so they will play at 2 o'clock on Friday in Nashville against Louisville. UT plays Friday night against Miami of Ohio. The Lady Vols, the Oklahoma Lady Sooners, are the real deal. And they will have their hands full, to say the least. And so Oklahoma. Tennessee's not a pushover. But again, it's a baseball or softball program that's stout, to say the least. And how stout is it? It's very stout. I had it right here. What to do with it? Is it right here? Yep, stuck to the second page. Oklahoma could extend its run of consecutive national titles to 5 this year. Whew. Begins Thursday. Final 2 teams will play its best double elimination, 8-team double elimination. Best of 3 series for the World Series starting June the 4th. Patty Gasso, who will coach the United States in the Olympics in 2028 in softball, has led the Sooners to 8 national titles, 6 of the past 8 years and 7 of the last 10. Oklahoma's first year, of course, in the SEC. And so they'll face Miss Pickens, who broke the NCAA record by throwing a softball 79.4 miles per hour. So Tennessee will play at 2 o'clock against the Oklahoma Lady Sooners, who, as I just showed you and told you, they are a powerhouse softball team. We'll let Andrew talk about that coming up here in a second. All right, so here is Andrew joins us coming up here in 3 or 4 minutes. So here we go. The college football playoffs. There is problems. There is a power struggle. They got to have a new format for next year by December 1st of this year. Okay. Now, here's the key to the whole thing. Hello, Sunshine. How are you? Would you at least come right here and wave at him? That's all I want you to do. Just wave. Just wave. Hello, Linda Prophet. Hello, Becky Muncie. How you doing? All right, the Big Ten and the SEC which have combined to field 16 of the last 20 national championships. All right, so you get that. 16 out of the last 20 have come to an SEC team. All right, they have absolute control of the future of the college football playoffs. So there, you start that right there. It doesn't go any further. I don't care what the ACC wants. I don't care what the Big 12 wants. I don't care what anybody else wants. The Big 10 and the SEC, they're driving the bus. They've got the keys to the bus. They're driving the bus. They're going to get what they want. Big 10 SEC, 16 of the last 20 national championships have gone to a Big 10 or SEC school. They're going to get what they want. They're the power brokers. So whatever these other conferences, a.k.a. the ACC and Big 12 want, it's at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. So Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, is going to get what he wants. Tony, oh gosh, what's his name? The SEC commissioner, Tony Petitti. Petitti. P-E-T-I-T-T-T-I. Tony Petitti, who is the commissioner of the Big Ten Conference. They're going to get what they want. Hello, Floyd Nave. How you doing? So there is a showdown going on. They are meeting in Sandestin, Florida, and there's a showdown coming down about what's happening with this playoff format. And Greg Sankey says, we're not real cool about everything going on, but see, there's a problem inside the SEC. Athletic directors want one thing, the coaches want another. So the ACC and Big 12 presented a 16-team playoff starting next year. Again, you got the deadline to have the new format for 2026 is December 1st of this year. Andrew Smith's going to be telling me all about this. We'll get his take on this in a second. So the ACC and Big 12 present a 16-team playoff proposal awarding automatics to the five highest-ranked teams, conference champions, with 11 at-large spots. Okay, that's what they want. The ACC and Big 12 prefer the 5-11 format over the one photo of the Big 10 of the SEC. It's a 4-4-2-2-1 format. 4 automatic qualifiers to the Big 10, 4 automatic qualifiers to the SEC, 2 for the ACC and the Big 12, 1 for the highest-ranked group of 6 champion, and 3 at-large teams. Okay, that seems to get it a little bit more across the board to get more people into the fray. SEC says no, we're going to have more teams in there. We're going to have as many teams in there we want to have in there. Okay, and that's how it's going to be. So, the linchpin of all this is they're meeting as we speak in Florida over an 8-team conference schedule or a 9-team conference schedule in the SEC, which will change everything. So, one factor paving the way, both the Big Ten and the SEC would send their top 2 teams both the conference championship game to the playoffs, and would schedule playing games between the number 3 and number 6 teams, number 4 and number 5 teams for the final 2 spots. That's their in-conference format. So, the ACC and Big 12 says we're prepared to fight. We're not going to lay down. We're going to battle and defend our conferences. Hello, Rusty Brand. How you doing, sir? So, stay tuned. But again, I'm going to tell you, and you know this, the big boys going to get what they want, or they'll take their toys out of the sandbox and they'll go start. I'm telling you, they'll go start their own conference. They got everything in place to do that. The Big Ten and SEC and say, okay, boys, y'all want to do it that way? That's fine. We're going to spin off of this thing in a year or two. We're going to go have our own power conference, and you'll just see a vacuum in this country in college athletics for those 2 conferences to get together and create a power conference, they being the Big Ten, SEC. Is it probable? No. Is it possible? Oh, yes, very much so. So, SEC administrators are scheduled this week to discuss whether to move from 8 conference games to 9 in football, with the future of the format of the college football playoff likely determining whether that move will be made. So it's almost a domino effect. Do we go 8 games in the conference or 9 based on what the playoff format is going to be? And so, one has to domino. What's going to come first, the chicken or the egg? So the Big Ten has long been a proposal of a move to automatic qualifiers, but their SEC, or the Big Ten commissioner, Tony Petitti, won't say anything about it. He's being very quiet. So Sankey's the only one out there really saying anything. So Sankey took a swipe at the Big Ten commissioner, and we'll take a break here. He says, quote, I don't need lectures from others about the good of the game. Whoo. Okay. I don't lecture others about the good of the game and coordinate press releases about the good of the game, and I'm not going to, and I don't need to be told about the good of the game. Okay, that was a shot across the bow to Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner. So, stay tuned. On top of all that, you got the SEC coaches, Lane Kiffin and Kirby Smart, saying we want as many SEC teams in there as possible because it's all about this. The athletic directors say, the SEC, they're adamant about wanting automatic qualifiers, which would go along with the league putting together a 9-game league schedule. So you've got ACC, Big 12, okay. Then you've got the Big 10, and now you got the SEC. And inside the SEC, you got the athletic directors and the coaches not jiving. So we got a bunch of non-jivers going on right now. How does it end? Who knows? I'm going to tell you the SEC is going to get what they want. I can tell you that. Quick break. We'll be right back. He's here. He's over here listening to everything we're talking about, so he will have an opinion on it. That's what I like about him. So we'll do that right after this from the Eagle Center. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A with the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. And I got a new drink today. I got the pineapple dragon fruit drink with a little bit of Sprite. She put a little Sprite in it, so I'm going to jack it up a little bit for you. So, okay. Good stuff. That'll set you free right there. That's good stuff. It'll make a bulldog break his chain. All right, quick break. Back. Andrew White next on the Tom Douglas Sports Show.
Center, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Tammy Troutman. A lot of antique stores out there. Why come to the Eagle Center?
Oh my goodness, there are so many reasons to come and visit the Eagle Center. We have wonderful vendors, nearly 50 vendors who have the best merchandise. They hunt, they pick, they're always changing it out, keeping it clean and fresh and new and interesting, and we have wonderful vendors.
Yes, you do. And we're going into the spring. We're in spring and summer. Great time coming down downtown Elizabeth and shop here because the inventory changes all the time.
Yes, it does, and we have air conditioning, so you can come in, cool off, look at things, browse. We have 2 levels of just about everything you could think of.
Gift certificates?
We have gift certificates available. We have layaway available.
Yep, you can do those. Get a gift certificate. They can come back and get what they want when they want, or do a layaway for down the road, even into the holidays. You can do that. It's all right here. The hours are open.
We're open 10 to 5 every single day except for Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And where do we find you on social media?
We're on Eagle Center Co-op on Facebook, and then Eagle Center Antiques on Instagram.
And the phone number we have to call to find out,
The phone
talk to
number
you?
is 542-6674.
There you go. One of our great sponsors here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show and on Cyclone Sports, the Eagle Center in downtown Elizabethton.
I work at the Chick-fil-A.
I go to that Chick-fil-A all the time.
He came to the drive-thru. Before I can give him his change, he drove away. It was a month before he came back in.
Marcus hands me this envelope, and it's like $3.
I kept it in my back pocket for over a month.
That's crazy. I'm just like pretty stunned.
She's like, dude, you serious? What?
Appreciate the $3, man.
Yeah.
And we found out we both play trumpet.
And back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Look who stopped by. He does every week, and I appreciate that. Our buddy Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Doing well, sir. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Likewise. Did you enjoy did you have a good Memorial Day, I hope?
Yes, sir, I did. It was a Memorial Day of travel for me. Got a chance to go up to the Indy 500 on this past Sunday.
Really?
Yes, it was a
Whoa.
very. I would recommend if anybody gets the opportunity to go up there to experience all the pomp and the circumstance with that, do so. It is the pre-race facilities will give the pre-race festivities rather will give you goosebumps, and the race itself was a fun watch. So
Really?
yes,
First time?
that was my first time there. Yep.
Going back?
Maybe at some point I would
Yeah.
like to.
Yeah. That's awesome. So the Indy 500, who won it?
It was Alex Palou.
From Spain?
Yes, the Spaniard.
Spaniard.
The fifth win in 6 races in the IndyCar schedule for him. So, off to quite the dominant start.
Kyle Larson says probably not going to do it anymore. He said, I tried it both places. He wrecked.
It was definitely a day to forget for Kyle Larson, both in Indianapolis and Charlotte.
Yeah, hit the wall in Indianapolis at 230 miles an hour, can walk away from it. Wow, good night. You talking about the Lord being on his side. Now, you think of 230 miles an hour hitting that wall right there, hitting anything.
Yeah, no, it would not feel good.
No, in a car that's, they got obviously good safety devices in the cars, but it's not a NASCAR car, it's an Indy car. And you know what the Indy cars look like. So, anyway, Palou wins it.
Yep, it was Palou.
Palou wins it. And Larson says, probably not going to double dip anymore. We're going to focus on the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. So, they are racing this weekend, by the way, in Nashville, the Cracker Barrel 400. So, at the Nashville Super Speedway. All right, so you heard my chit-chat before you got, or while you were here getting ready to come on the show. Hello to Pete Woods, hello to Michael Kitchens, how you doing? And Linda Birchfield, how you kids? Thank you for watching. So the college football playoffs is a quagmire for the time being. And you agreed when I was getting you settled in here, SEC's going to get what they want.
Yeah, they are. Them and the Big Ten have all of the cards here, basically. It's hard to see anything happening without them two signing on because they're the two power conferences right now, and especially the SEC certainly feels like they'll get what they want out of this. Greg Sankey has become known for leveraging power very well in these sorts of negotiations. So, yeah, I definitely foresee the SEC getting whatever they want. Now, talking before we came on about the 8 versus 9 game schedule, I think that if the SEC proposal of 4 Big Ten, 4 SEC, 2, however that ends up breaking down, I think if that gets approved, they'll go to a 9-game conference schedule because you're not as worried about your out-of-conference strength of schedule because hey, our best 4 plus maybe 1 or 2 are getting in anyway. So, not as much damage to be done with a 9-game conference schedule versus an 8.
ACC, the Big 12 says we're not budging. We're going to dig our heels in. We're putting up a fight. We're not going to lay down on this. That was a direct quote from their commissioners. So we're going to see who wins. But the Big 12 and the ACC at the end of the day ain't got a leg to stand on. They have already talked about it. I've said this for months, and I'm right. Not right on a lot of things, but the Big 10 and the SEC have the television market. They got the television money. They got the name schools. All they got to do is say, boys, y'all have a good life. We're going to spin it off. We're going to have our own power conference, and TV will go. They would go nuts over that because you got all the big boys in 2 conferences playing for their own championship. Let everybody else kind of fend for themselves. Then the ACC and the Big 12 are going to go rut-row because they're going to be very quickly the Reddit stepchild.
Yeah, they will be. However, at this moment in time, I don't disagree with what the ACC and Big 12 are doing. They're having to do what's right for their member institutions right now.
No
they're saying the right things, they're doing the right things, but ultimately they're fighting an uphill battle with it. I just don't think that they can win, especially the longer it rages.
No, they're doing exactly what they should do is take care of their own. Absolutely. They want their share of the pie. But as I said before you sit down here, the 16 of the last 20 national championships in college football come from either the Big Ten or the SEC. That's all you need to say. They've got the power. They've got the leverage. They've clearly got the talent to win it, and they're going to get what they want. So it comes down to, the formats, the 4-4, what is that, 4-2, 4-4, 2-2-1, or the 5 and 11. That's the 2 models we're looking at right now. But then the SEC, you got the athletic directors wanting one thing, the coaches want something else, and there's Sankey trying to keep everybody happy inside the SEC. And then on top of that, you got the Big 12 or the Big 10 not saying anything. They're not coming out saying yay or nay about anything. Then over on top of that, to add to it, they can't decide whether to go to an 8-team schedule or a 9-team conference schedule inside the SEC. It's going to hinge on the playoff format. It's the cart before the horse. You can't really do that till you get the format settled. They have until December the 1st, which is a long way away, to get the format settled for college football. 2025 is set. What they're working on is 2026 and beyond. I don't know if it's going to be a multi-year agreement or just 1 year at a time, but that's where they are. So the SEC and the Big Ten are driving the bus. In fact, I'm going to read this quote one more time here. We'll move on to another one. Let's see here. It is because I put it in pink because it's that big a deal. And it says, the Big Ten and the SEC combined to build 16 of the last 20 national champions, understand they have absolute control of the future of the college football playoff. So what would you like? You want to leave it at 12? You want to go 16? You want to go to the 5'11" model? What would appeal to you?
Well, for me, I was never a fan of this expanding to 12 in the first place. But since we're here, I can't control it. We're going to continue to grow here. I think 16 probably works the best. I honestly like the 5 and 11 model better than the 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 3.
Yep, me too.
Just because you win your conference, definitely have earned a spot at the table in terms of 16. But otherwise, hey, let's keep the regular season meaning something. However, you could also argue that you could go about that in a similar way with the different formats, the 4, 4, 2, 2, 1. But ultimately, the 5-11 is a little bit easier to keep rack my head around in terms of how it would work format-wise. So for a redneck like me, 5'11 is a simpler version, so I'm okay with it.
The 4-4-2-2-1 would be, one more time, we'll move on here. The Big Ten and the SEC will both have 4 automatic qualifiers. That's the 2 4s. The 2 2s will be 2 out of the ACC, 2 out of the Big 12, and 1 for the highest-ranked group of 6 champion, and then 3 at-large teams. So you get 1 coming out of the highest-ranked group of 6 champions and the 3 at-large teams. So out of that pool of 4, they bring 1. So 4 Big Ten, 4 SEC, 2 ACC, 2 Big 12, and 1 out of that 4 group pool of the group of 6 champion and 3 at-large teams. Then you get into, okay, I guess strength of schedule, what will determine out of that pool of 4 if you went that route? You get to pick 1 out of 4. How do you get that 1? So that opens up another can of worms. So stay tuned. It's interesting, but money's driving the bus. Part of this story that I didn't read was, but I'll tell you that they realize if you go to that format, there's more television money. They can string it out a little bit more and make, guess what, more moolah. So there you go. So stay tuned. They're meeting this week, SEC coaches and athletic directors and administrators in Sandestin, Florida is where they are. Where we are, we're at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. We're talking to Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. NBA, the Pacers, Mr. Halliburton, triple-double last night. The Pacers are the team. They've got the Knicks on the ropes. Oklahoma City and Minnesota on the other side of the finals of the NBA. So let's talk about last night. Pacers and Knicks, what's your take on that game? What's your take on the series right now?
Yeah, last night you mentioned the triple-double from Tyrese Halliburton. He did it without turning the ball over once. Not a single turnover to be found. He has continued to impress me throughout this postseason run. He, to me, is one of the, I guess I'll call him a supercomputer in a way, running the offense, the way he's able to process what a defense is trying to do, what the best set to get in to beat that is, how to read maybe a rotation or something like that. He truly has impressed me with his processing speed and just how he's always making the right decision. So he's been the straw that has stirred the Pacer drink, and they are certainly in a great position to get back to the finals because of him. So yeah, obviously it's not just been him. If I had a Neesmith game, a Bannock Matherin game, other guys have stepped in spots, but yeah, it's been the Tyrese Halliburton show, and rightfully so.
Knicks in trouble?
The Knicks are in big-time trouble right here. It just seems like anything that New York tries to do defensively, Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers have an answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the thing, I noticed last night on multiple occasions, after the Knicks would get a make, they'd be a little bit slower coming back down defensively. Tyrese Halliburton would get a fair longer than normal inbound pass, quickly whip his head across and see, I've got a one-on-one on a backpedaling center over here. I'm going to just fire it and let him go one-on-one and get those 2 points right back in the span of like 4 seconds. So it's been a bit of a problem here for New York in terms of how do we defend this Pacers offense.
Hello to Pete Woods. Hello to Sandra Perkins, to Rick Malone. Thank you all for watching. So Pacers are coached by former Celtic Rick Carlisle, who I thought was interesting, has said he calls and gets advice from his former teammate, Larry Bird, who used to coach the Pacers. So he gives them input, gives them advice. He'll pick his brain a little bit about what to do. Apparently it's working. Plus he's got an outstanding team, a lot of talent. Knicks are in trouble. On the other side, Oklahoma City and the Minnesota Timberwolves. What's going on in that series?
Yeah, Oklahoma City with a chance to punch their ticket to the finals tonight. They're also up 3-1. It's just been a showcase of why Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has won the Most Valuable Player award. He has just been, in their 3 wins, he has been consistently getting to his spots, able to draw contact. He's one of the best in the league at driving and drawing fouls. Now, has there been a little embellishment of that at times? Quite possibly, yes, there has been. But overall, a lot of the fouls he's getting called on or drawing are legitimate fouls, although there are some exceptions with that. But overall, this Oklahoma City team is deep, led by a talented point guard, and they're back home tonight. So the Timberwolves are definitely in trouble. You're going to have to get more offensively out of guys not named Anthony Edwards if you want to see the series go back to Minneapolis.
So the Thunder in driver's seat and the Pacers in the driver's seat.
Correct.
A couple of Midwestern teams. Who'd have thunk it? I'd have never. You told me at the beginning of the year that Oklahoma City and the Pacers are the 2 hottest teams in the NBA with a chance to meet in the finals. I'd have said you're probably smoking something, but there you go.
You maybe could have sold me on Oklahoma City, but Indiana definitely felt like it's kind of come out of I'm not going to say nowhere, because since the turn of the new year, they've been one of the better teams in the league, but certainly they had not get off to the best start in the world to begin the season. So,
Cinderella story.
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
All right. We're here live again at Chick-fil-A. Let's switch to baseball. What's wrong with your boys? Something's wrong.
They can't hit with runners in scoring position right now. At least that was the problem last night. Getting shut out by the Phillies. They had their opportunities, but they left 10 runners on base. Not a key for success, I would say.
No.
Spencer Strider took some steps coming back from his injury. I think it was his second start back from injury last night. Had a little bit of trouble with the walks, but mostly was able to work around. He gave up 1 run and 1 hit in 4 2/3. But the pitch count got up on him early. But yeah, it was. If you don't score, it don't matter if you give up 1 or 100. You're going to lose the baseball game.
LOB was a problem last night. It's been a problem all season.
It's been a problem a lot of the season. Yeah.
Left on base, they get him out there, can't get him in. So they start again tonight. They got A.J. Shawver-Smith on the mound against Zach Wheeler. Game 2 of that series. Phillies the hottest team in baseball. I mean, they are. I wouldn't say running away from it, but they got a sizable lead.
They do.
And the Braves are now 9.5 out.
I believe so, yeah. It's a little early to panic big time, but you certainly aren't comfortable in this spot. Losers of, I believe, 5 of the last 6 now for Atlanta. So
I read, it's crazy. These people are nuts. Get rid of Snitker. He can't manage. Okay. He can't bring him in for him. He's got the lineup out there. He can't hit him. He can't catch it. So, but I actually read where somebody said maybe need to make a change to the manager.
I don't see what that would do right now. Have there been moments where maybe a bullpen decision has been questionable? Yeah, but you could say that about all 30 managers at some point in the
absolutely.
year. Like that's just the nature of baseball. You're not going to bat 1,000 on your bullpen management or whatever. But yeah, I mean in this offseason, a coaching change was made on the hitting side, bringing in a new hitting coach and to try and fix some of the ailing runners in scoring position woes. And at some point, the guys have to live up to what they had done in years past in the back of their baseball card.
Don't think making a managerial change in Atlanta is going to be the problem solver. So I think that's just an easy way out. It's like, well, we'll just fire the coach. Okay, whatever. In this case, fire the manager. But be that as it may, they're back at Game 2 tonight in Atlanta, in Philadelphia, I should say. The Bravos and the Philadelphia Phillies. Zach Wheeler for the Phillies and A.J. Smith-Shawver will go for the Atlanta Braves. So Strider's outing last night, how would you rate it, A, B, C, or D?
I'd give it C+. C+. It definitely was better than his last outing. Like I said, Walks would like to see that get under control. Ran the pitch count up a lot more than you would like. But definitely signs of improvement. I think he struck out 7. So definitely signs of improvement for sure. Actually, the more I talk through it, I think it'd be closer to a B than a C. but definitely would like to see him get stretched deeper into a ball game his next turn in the rotation.
What's the latest on Lopez? Are any updates on him?
There hasn't been much of an update since a couple weeks into the year.
Yep.
It's still very, very hush-hush, wait-and-see sort of deal.
Evan Carter's still out to June the 10th for the Texas Rangers. So Landon Knack still pitching for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's our two local guys in the bigs, which we're very proud of. So there you be. What are you working on right now? Football. A little early for football, isn't it?
A little early for football. Actually, last night I got to do the first of, I ended up having a handful of feature stories from back at the Big Orange Caravan in Kingsport back in 1st of May. Get a chance to kind of go back through those interviews with last night was Danny White. Got to talk to Kim Caldwell, Rick Barnes, Josh Heupel. Kind of go back through some of those, highlight some of the things from those conversations. Southwest Virginia postseason's still going on. I'll be up that way tomorrow to be determined exactly where I'll be. And then next Thursday, the start of the Appalachian League season. So that has came upon us rather quickly. So slowing down a little bit, but definitely nothing going on. Actually, next week I'll be out of town for most of the week to enjoy a little bit of a vacation since things have slowed down.
86 days till kickoff for high school football. So you won't be here next week.
I will not be here Tuesday through Friday. Next week I'll be out. So.
He'll be out. So he's getting some well-deserved time off. So there you go. It's good stuff. So we get ready for Appalachian League. You're right. Then we get ready for high school football. You're right. NBA Finals. Pacers.
Thunder. It looks like.
Yeah. National Hockey League looks like it's going to be.
Looks like it's going to be Edmonton and Florida again.
Florida and Edmonton again. Yep. So winding that sport down as well. East Tennessee State college baseball playing in Nashville against Louisville on Friday at 2:00. The Bucks are 41-15. Louisville 35-21. Tennessee will play at 6:00 on Friday night. The Vols will host Miami of Ohio. Tennessee baseball 43-16. Miami of Ohio is 35-21. And then the Lady Vols in softball have the dubious task going to take on the 4-time national champion Oklahoma Lady Sooners, which is double elimination, but you come right out of the gate and you fire it up and go. So.
Oh, absolutely. The thing with the Lady Vols is they did go to Norman and win a series earlier this year. This is not a team they'll be backing down from. But yeah, once you get to Oklahoma City, it's on. It's on, and nobody's been better this decade there in the Women's College World Series than the Oklahoma Sooners. So, really tall task, but the Lady Vols have not backed down yet. So we shall see.
Yeah. Are you hungry?
I am hungry.
So I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Is that
Sounds
correct?
like a plan.
Yeah, and we're taking some time off in June, so. But we'll have you back in here in June, in a couple of weeks, to see what's going on. So keep up the good work. You do an awesome job. Love reading your articles. And so Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Get you some grub, son. You've earned it.
I appreciate it.
Yep. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this from Lingerfield Drug Center. We'll be there tomorrow broadcasting live. Today is show number 2296. We got number 2300 next week. Big deal for me. May not be a big deal for you. 2,300 shows. That's a lot of yapping. So we will do that next week. Tomorrow we'll be at Lingerfield Drug Center. We'll come back with Mr. Baseball next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Very simple. It happens every day. Tell us how we can do it.
Yeah, all you got to do is give us a call. We brought 2 yesterday, actually, but you just give us your name and your birthday and tell us where your prescriptions are at right now, and we'll call that pharmacy, get everything brought over. A lot of times people are nervous about moving because they're afraid something doesn't have refills or something can't be transferred. And when that's the case, we'll call those doctors, get you new prescriptions, and take care of everything, really. It's like the people, one of them we had transferred yesterday, said they'd been trying for about 3 days to get medicine refilled and just wasn't happening, and was frustrated and asked if we could do better, and called, got everything transferred. Took maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and we had to call the doctor on one, which waiting on doctors can sometimes be a little time consuming, but they got that called in, and by the afternoon we had everything ready for her.
There you go, folks.
So,
it's just that easy. If you're not happy where you're getting your prescriptions filled, come to the Lingerfield Drug Center. The phone number to call and talk to you about it is?
It's 423-542-2138.
There you go. One of our great sponsors right here of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Get your prescription changed to a mom-and-pop pharmacy that still cares about their people and still wants to give you 100% customer satisfaction. It's right here at Lingerfield Drug Center beside Carter County Bank in downtown Elizabethton. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And back with the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Let's give you the verse today. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. No question about that. Here it is. Whether you realize it or not, our relationship with the Lord can motivate others to seek Him. You can make or break somebody, absolutely. So we need to ask ourselves, when others watch us go through stuff and face trials, do they witness our faith and His wisdom and provision? Could they say our relationship with Him is not in words only, but a very real part of our life? It's interesting. Can they see His presence and our dependence on Him and how we live every day? Here's the verse today. Colossians 1:10 says, "We pray this in order that you may live a life worthy of the Lord, may please Him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work." Hello. How are you doing? Well, that's good. You scared me. I looked up and you was there. Bearing fruit in every good work, growing in the knowledge of God. So if we let Him, He'll work through us, and everyone will see how precious and loving and caring our Lord is, and how He will do that for them too. So that is the verse today, Colossians 1:10. We will take a break. We'll be right back. We're here live. We're on the road at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabeth with your favorite school's T-shirts, polos, or hoodies. They can put your school, church, or company's logo on lots of different styles of hats, including Nike and Richardson and now Travis Matthew. Windbreakers, sublimated shirts, pullovers, koozies. They can order for any area school and your favorite team. Dry fit sleeveless hoodies, Nike dry fit T-shirts, women's and toddler sizes. You can order any uniform for any sport, including the pants or shorts from Brumman Sports Shop. And they always have a clearance rack to save you money. Plaques, trophies, medals, and ribbons, and all the engraving is done in-house. And they offer hard-to-find Letterman jackets of your favorite school for guys, ladies, and now elementary and middle school athletes too. And they offer all the different sports patches as well. Brumman Sports Shop, downtown Elizabeth, and Facebook, Instagram, website, BrummanSportsShop.com, phone 542-2321, Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton.
I walked into Chick-fil-A completely outnumbered. My husband was away at military leadership training, and the kids were doing this. Miss Carol brought me water, something to eat, and then before I knew it, she was tying Margot's shoes up and carrying her out to the car.
It always makes me feel good if I help somebody.
I went in the next day because I just wanted to make sure she knew how much I appreciated her help.
I'm just so glad there was somebody there when she really needed it.
That's gonna go on my refrigerator.
There you go. I thought I messed up, but I didn't. Michelle's going to be with us tomorrow on the show from Arm Ministries, which is an outstanding group. She'll be with us tomorrow. All right, so you got the Smokehouse Barbecue Sandwich. You get original spicy or grilled crispy bacon, Colby Jack cheese, green leaf lettuce on a toasted bun. It's red hot. It's the hottest sandwich up there right now, the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon. Also, you have the pineapple dragon fruit. You have 4 ways to get it. You have lemonade, iced tea, Sunjoy, or the frosted, and they're all good, really good. And so that's available again here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson, where we are. It's lunchtime, and it's hopping, and we love it that way. At Double C Western Supply, 40% off all the Hui cologne and perfume gift sets. They can't keep them in stock. They've had another shipment come in. They've shipped it again. 40% off all the Hui cologne and perfume gift sets for moms and dads and grads through June the 14th at Double C Western Supply. The Montana Silversmith Jewelry, 75% off. And they got a clearance rack, 60% off the clearance rack at Double C Western Supply. Hello, Teresa Wallen. How you doing, lady? What I say, countdown to football, I just did it, 86 days. Do we start football coverage? We're going to put the countdown back on the screen, I think tomorrow. Carrie's going to get that on there for us. We need to get that back on, so we'll double check. How many days? August 22nd. There it is, 86. Yep, 86 days till high school football kickoff. And the Cyclones and the Wallen boys will play a big part in Cyclone football this year, as they did last year. Hello, Teresa, anyway. Appreciate you. And the J Train had a birthday last week. Big as the side of a barn. I wouldn't want to try and stop him. Anyway, 40% off Hui cologne and perfume gift sets at Double C. They can't keep them in stock. They've made yet another shipment. Went in the other day, bought me a shirt, and they had a box full, boxes on the floor just came in full of Hui cologne. Because they're 40% off and you can't keep them in stock for the guys and the ladies. 75% off select Montana Silversmith Jewelry at Double C Western Supply in Elizabethton. And then a 60% off clearance rack. This is not junker stuff. This is right off the rack. It's not like they go out and order a bunch of, Ching Chang brand stuff and then go, we're going to sell it. No, it's right off the rack, right off the shelves. 60% off clearance. All right, American Heritage Antique Auction through June the 2nd. Here it is. Over 1,500 lots starting out at buck a bid. Go to collinsandcompany.info. Victorian glassware, a Texas banker's desk. Wow. Marbles, salt and pepper shakers, china. Reading down through matching armchairs, a vanity table and a stool, antique tables of distinction. Dalton figurines, goes on and on and on. Go to collinsandcompany.info and bid through June the 2nd, which is next week. Tomorrow, they're auctioning off these Dry Creek storage buildings in Unicoi, Tennessee. Tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. Go to the website, check it out. collinsandcompany.info. Dry Creek Storage in Unicoi going. Absolute Storage Wars auction going tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Today's the last day you can bid on these items. Stops at 6 o'clock tonight, May the 28th. Online estate auction of Lilo Duncan. Open center, right? Lilo, Lilo Duncan in Elizabethton. And all kinds of stuff. You've been bidding on this since Monday, May the 18th, Sunday the 18th. It ends tonight at 6 o'clock, so you can still make that last-minute bid. Watercolor paintings, Tennessee pottery, Blue Ridge pottery, radios, televisions, garden tillers, all kinds of stuff on there. Here it is. Go to the web, collinsandcompany.info, and bid on those. That stops at 6 o'clock tonight. collinsandcompany.info. They do awesome work, and they ship all over the country. Here he comes as he's walking in the door. Mr. Baseball coming in. Parking is probably at a premium outside, I would think, because it's rocking in here. We'll take a break. We'll get him in, be ready to roll. He joins us coming up next. He's here. He's in. He joins us on show number 2296, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Ford of Elizabeth and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
So here's the deal.
An
opportunity presented itself for me to come check the dealership out. They said it might be for sale. My wife, my mother-in-law, both of my sisters happened to come last September, and we ended up at the Covered Bridge.
Feels in heaven.
And we just thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it was a blast. We weren't planning on being there for that, it just so happened the time that we came, the Covered Bridge event was going on, and we just loved it. We loved the community, we loved the energy, the vibe, and we felt like it would be a great opportunity for us to serve the community. Because every time I look at a store, I always look at how could we improve the community, how could we create jobs, how could we improve the business, and the upside was so tremendous in the Elizabethton community. I just felt like we could come make a big difference, and we've been able to do it.
You have. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Elizabethton. Social media, how do we find you?
So Ford of Elizabethton, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Elizabethton. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're everywhere. And we're ready to serve the community, sell cars, and make some happy customers.
Amen. What's the hours you're open, sir?
So we're open at 7:30 in service, and we're open at 8:30 in sales. We stay open till 7.
Our title sponsor, the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports, Ford of Elizabethton, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
After a long, hard day at work, all you want to do is relax at home, right? But how can you possibly relax when your home's not comfortable? If you want to feel more comfortable at home, give Advanced Heat Pump Systems a call today. With over 30 years of experience and the most innovative solutions, you can rest assured that Advanced Heat Pump Systems will make your home more comfortable. Give them a call today, 926-2665, or visit them online at advancedheatpump.com.
I'm on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look who stopped by. Mr. Baseball's in the house, Greg Salyer. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hey, Tom. I'm great. How are you?
Doing wonderful.
Good.
He's making a difference, folks. Over in Hampton. Going that way today. Again, what's your T-shirt say? Meeting needs, changing lives.
Yeah.
What's at the bottom?
SendRelief.
SendRelief.org.
Yeah.
He's helping folks get back on their feet, and it's happening, right?
Yeah,
Give us an update. What's going on?
It is. So we're seeing people move back in. There's one family that is there on Spring Street in Hampton that will be moving back in, I think, June the 6th, and we're excited for them. I was in their home the other day, and it looked almost complete. There were just a very few things to be done. We got electrical work going on in the houses that I'm more responsible for, and yesterday and today, and then tomorrow we got some finished carpentry that's going to be taking place over the weekend and into next week, and we're going to start some painting. So I at Church Sunday was enlisting people that might want to come paint on starting June the 4th, and hopefully we can get some people to come in and do that. And we want to see these people get back in their houses very quickly.
Absolutely, in Hampton, Carter County.
It's been 9 months.
9 months since they've been in their home. So when you go home tonight and lay down in your home, in your bed or in your couch or your chair or whatever you do at your home, on your porch, just remember there's folks out there still displaced because of the storm back in September. We have forgot about it for the most part, although folks like him keep it going. But society as a whole has moved on to the next crisis, the next news event. But these folks are still picking up the pieces, and they're doing it little by little. As we said from the get-go, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and so it's working slowly but surely. So these folks get back in their homes for the first time since September,
right?
Which I would think be very emotional. Walk back in and go, we're finally back, because they've been displaced everywhere, campgrounds, hotels, everywhere.
Yeah, and for several of them, it's a brand new house.
Wow.
So their houses were condemned because of the flood, and they'll be moving into a brand new house.
So you're going to go over there as soon as you get done and keep on working, keep on keeping on. Mr. Baseball's in the house. Got lots to cover. Let's start with the standings.
Okay.
I guess we got teams playing well, got teams playing not very well at all. I guess we'll start in Atlanta. The Braves are not, there's something wrong. They lost 2 in a row, 6 out of 10. They're 3 under. Andrew was here earlier, said they just can't drive in runs. They're 9.5 games out. They're going backwards. Atlanta on the road at 9-19. In your humble opinion, Mr. Baseball. By the way, is your mother watching?
She's watching, yeah.
Hello, Ev. Tom, you're so goofy. I love saying that. I look for that. Look for it every week. That's what she told me. She used to tell me, flip by that, Tom, you're so goofy. By the way, we went to the Scoop the other day.
Oh, did you?
We did.
Okay.
I guess
awesome.
It's a selfish plug for where his daughter works, the Scoop out in Gray. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. So
I had it Monday night. Yeah.
That was some serious good ice cream out there.
It is.
So Bluebell ice cream. So anyway, his daughter works there, and I said, I'm going to go to the Scoop. So she and I went to the Scoop, and we rocked it. So there you go. Anyway, Tom, you're so goofy. I know. I get on rabbit trails.
Oh, no, you start talking about the Scoop, she'll be all over that.
Oh, she likes the Scoop, too?
Oh, yeah, she likes the Scoop.
Oh, yeah. All right. It's an ice cream place in Gray. Just got a free plug, but it is a good place. All right, so the Braves are, as we said, 25-28. The Phillies have won 9 out of 10, the best team in baseball, 35-19. The Mets have won 4 in a row, 6 out of 10. They're hanging. They're a game and a half out.
They are.
But then the Braves dropped down to 9.5 back. What's wrong with Atlanta?
Yeah, I think Andrew was right. They can't hit with runners in scoring position. And that's what we see over and over again with teams. They can't seem to get that clutch hit, and that's where the Braves are right now. And their pitching's been pretty good. It's just not been good enough because when you can't hit with runners in scoring position, you're just not going to score that many runs. You're going to score. The Reds had a game this week where they won the game and were like 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, but they won just because they hit home runs. And if you can do that, then, yeah, you're going to do okay. But, you still got to hit several solo home runs to keep up with teams that can hit with runners in scoring position.
I love it. Get rid of Snitker. He's the problem, I'm thinking. No. We live in a society where people are just crazy.
Somebody's got to take the blame, so they're fussing at Snitker, yeah.
Someone's got to fall on the sword.
He's not on the field.
He's not making the catches. He's not hitting the ball or not hitting the ball as it were. So, no, I read that and I thought, you got to be kidding me. So they're 25-28. I mean, they're not out of the woods.
Yeah, it's not time to panic by any stretch of the imagination. But, they need to pick it up a notch.
Yep. Well, they're playing the front-running team. So
they are. They're playing the Phillies.
If you want to catch them.
Yeah, beat the team that's
beat team
ahead
first
of you.
place.
That's right. That's how you do it.
You got the Nationals right behind them. They've won 6 out of 10. The Marlins are terrible. In the Central, Cubs have won 3 in a row, 8 out of 10. They lead the Cardinals by 3. The Brewers are coming. They've won 3 in a row and 7 out of 10. They're 6.5 back, as are the Reds. They've won 2 in a row and 6 out of 10. So that's a pretty good division. Of course, the Pirates are out. They're 14.5 out. But so it's a 4-horse race.
Yeah.
And the Cubs and the Cardinals and the Brewers and the Reds are making it pretty competitive.
They are. The Cubs are good. I mean, let's just face it. They are. They're really good. They're strong on almost every aspect of the game. And so they're going to be a good team. They're definitely the team to beat in that division this year. St. Louis has been a little bit of a surprise. This was supposed to be year one of a rebuild for them, and look where they are. They're 31-24. I don't think anybody expected that. I don't even think St. Louis's management expected that. So, my question is, if they're within striking distance at the trade deadline, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Because all we heard about was trade Nolan Arenado. We heard that he was going to be traded. Well, now, are you a buyer if you're still in it at the trade deadline to try to improve your team?
I think you're sitting right there and just hang on to him. We'll see.
But do you try to go out and get those other pieces that might push over the top?
That's true too.
When you're saying, when everybody's thinking, okay, this is year one of a rebuild, what do you do if you're competitive in a rebuild? Do you stick to your guns and say, this is what we want to do, this is long-term where we want to be, or do you go out and retool and try to win it all this year?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think they may have to answer it.
Yep. Well, I saw an article this morning that said, I ain't going to start talking about trade deadline July 31st. And here we are talking about it. But it's 60 days away. I mean, these people's like, just let the dust settle. We're always, I'm going to get on my soapbox.
Okay.
I went into a retail store the other day, and all I see is fall. I'm thinking,
oh, no.
I mean, it's all fall. I mean, it's not all fall, but probably 60-70% of the store is fall merchandise. And it's right over here. And so
I bet I know what store you're talking about.
Which direction? It's right over there.
Over there, yeah.
And I'm thinking, it is May, Memorial Day weekend, and they got that stuff marked down. They got Christmas stuff out. We're always pushing the envelope. We never are happy where we are for the moment. So here we are on May 28th. We're talking trade deadline. What's going to happen on July 31st? The Lord may come before then. He may come any minute. Prophetically, he can. It's like, really? Just enjoy May 28th. Enjoy this one. But we're already pushing the envelope. What we're going to do? What we're going to do about trade deadline? It's July 31st. Come on now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm off my box. Dodgers In the West, 34-21. They've won 2 in a row. Giving
Yeah.
chase to them are the Padres, who won 3. They're 2 games out. The Giants are 3 games out, so a pretty competitive division. And Landon Knack, our local guys, being a contributor.
Yeah.
From Johnson City Science Hill, one of the pitchers for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And we love to see our local guys be competitive in Major League Baseball on the highest level, you know, and he absolutely is. So the Dodgers are doing great. Shohei Ohtani is getting ready to start pitching again. That'll be a boost, I would think, to them as well.
Yes.
So, Max Muncy made a comment about him yesterday that I thought was pretty interesting. He said he does things that no regular human being can do.
And he's right.
Yeah.
What's he got, 20, 25 home runs?
He's got 20 home runs.
20 home runs.
He's hit one 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
To get him to – he leads the major leagues right now with 20 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, he is a phenomenal athlete, no doubt about it. Now, the good thing about that division is Padres have won 3 in a row. Maybe they're coming out of it because, they were in a tailspin. We talked about it Friday. They were in a horrible tailspin. They've won 3 in a row. Maybe they're going to come out of that and once again be competitive in that division because, they're 2 games back, and we were talking about how poorly they were playing. And San Francisco's not going to go away. San Francisco has a really good team. They've lost 2 in a row, 5-5 over their last 10, but they're not going to go away. They're still going to be around. They're playing Detroit right now, so that's a tough place to play.
And the ace of the staff for the Tigers hit 103 on the gun.
On his last pitch of the game, of a complete game.
Yeah.
How many guys throw a complete game anymore? You never hear that anymore.
No.
And then to throw the hardest pitch that he's thrown, maybe ever, was the last pitch he threw.
Yeah, 103.
The last pitch of the game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We're talking about
Tarik Skubal.
Tarik Skubal. He can bring it. 103 miles an hour for Detroit.
Yeah.
It was the second best team in baseball, by the way. Let's look in the American League. In the Central, Detroit's won 3 in a row, 6 out of 10. They're the real deal. Twins are down 5 games to them.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland's down 6. So what's been Detroit's 16 over 500 to 36-20. So what is the key to their success?
Well, their pitching's really good. Their hitting has come around. The guys that they needed to perform have performed. Spencer Torkelson is contributing, which, he was if I'm not mistaken, number 1 pick in the draft several years ago now, and just really had not ever done anything that they expected him to do, but now he is, and he's contributing. They've got some good young players there in Detroit. They're an exciting team, and they hit the long ball. They run well. They pitch well. They field well. So they're a team to be reckoned with. I think right now you would have to say they're probably odds-on favorite to be the American League representatives in the World Series.
Oh, really?
I think so at this point. I think they're that good. I think they could be there.
I think it's great that they're back in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I do too.
Just something about Detroit being in the hunt. I don't know.
And let me mention another player, Javi Baez. Okay, remember him? Great player for the Cubs. Signed that big astronomical contract with Detroit and forgot how to play. Couldn't field the ball, couldn't throw, couldn't hit, couldn't do anything. And it looked like the worst signing in Detroit history. And now he's come around this year as well. So
forgot about him, yep.
Yeah, so he's playing well again, and he had not played well for a couple of years. So that signing is paying off for him finally. And, that's good for Detroit for sure.
We're talking to Greg Salyer, Mr. Baseball. We're live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street on this Wednesday, the final Wednesday of the month. Hard to believe we're rolling into June. Unbelievable. I told the girls the other day, I said, they didn't want to hear it, but I said, June 21st, a couple of weeks, will be the longest day of the year, then we're going to start going backwards. Fall's in the air.
Yeah.
Over there, they got fall stuff out. I walk in and it's like pumpkin pride. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Can't we just enjoy the summer?
Yeah.
Fall will get here soon enough.
Yeah.
And so will Christmas. Says the guy who keeps it.
How many days is it? I'm sure you've told already today. How many days?
I have not, but I will tell you.
Oh, okay. You usually tell it.
I know, but I did not today. But it tell football's 86 days away.
Oh, wow. Football 86 days away. That's crazy.
Christmas Eve would be 210 days away. So there you
wow. Better start shopping now.
go. That's it. Yep. So you know what I've got, as a matter of fact?
What's that?
I've got your Christmas gift.
Do you really?
I saw it the other day. I thought, I've never gave it to him.
Wow.
It's red stuff, so at least tell you that much. So
Okay.
next week, if you're here, are you vacating next week? You're
I
not?
should be here.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I should be here.
Looks like you're going to get a Christmas gift in
Oh,
June.
man. Christmas in June.
Christmas in June on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In the West, the Mariners lead the Astros by a game and a half. Houston's catching fire. They won 3 in a row,
Mhm.
6 out of 10. The Mariners have won 6 out of 10. The Rangers are going the opposite direction. They've lost
They
7
are.
out of 10. So right now it's a 2-horse race, Seattle and Houston. What's been the key to the Astros' success?
So the Astros, once again, their pitching, I think, has really carried them a little bit. Altuve has been hitting the ball well lately for the past week or so. He's really come around, and he's playing well. Some of the guys that they probably didn't expect to really do things have performed for them. So so that's really the key for Houston. They have to pitch well, really, and they have. Seattle is just I like that team. I think they're a really good team. We'll talk about one of their players toward the end of the show today, or segment today. I think the thing that concerns me a little bit is Texas. They're 2 games under 500 now. Need to get back to 500 just as soon as they can. They're 3-7 over their last 10 games, and that's just not good. So we want to see Texas be competitive in that division. They're 4.5 games out. They're definitely not out of it by any means, but they need to step up. They need to pick it up a notch.
Evan Carter's out to June the 10th, so we got him out for another 10, 12 days or so before we get him back. So we want him back as soon as possible. Of course, he played in Elizabethton. So you go to the American League East, you got the Yankees winning 4 in a row, 8 out of 10. The Rays have won 7 out of 10. The Red Sox are going backwards. They've lost 4 in a row and 6 out of 10. What's wrong in Boston? Rafael Devers.
So Rafael Devers is playing well, but I have to think that there's issues in the clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
You would think. And plus Bregman is hurt. So that's going to hurt them as well. So that's hurt Boston, but so they traded Sean Newcomb to the A's. They designated him for assignment, ended up making that trade. I don't know, really. I can't put my finger on it, but I have a feeling it's more a clubhouse thing. I think there's discord in the clubhouse.
Would it center around Rafael Devers, you think?
Yes, I think so.
Absolutely.
I think so.
I've said that since spring training.
Yeah, I think
They're tired
so.
of him. They're over it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. Guy's not a team player, and he's a diva, and so he's got things uneasy. This is me speculating, sitting in East Tennessee. I don't know that for sure, but whether the old adage, where there's smoke, there's fire. So there you go. My boy Rafael Devers, who Greg brought me a baseball card. I think it's laying somewhere on Interstate 26. I'm thinking, Rafael Devers, are you kidding me?
Threw it out the window,
No, I
huh?
didn't. I got it.
Okay.
I got it done.
That's a 2025 Rafael Devers baseball
I didn't throw
card.
it away.
So
yeah. When I was a kid, you used to take them, put them on your bike with a
Yeah.
clothespin.
Yeah.
So you go pop, 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 make a noise.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a bike, but I may do that. Why would I do that? I don't have a bike, but I may just hanging out the window. Something. Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
What a class act. So I'm on him every show. So every time we get together, I'm on him.
You are.
But he earns it.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just not. So anyway, so your top team in baseball right now, the Phillies. Number 2 would be the Detroit Tigers. Number 3 would be the New York Yankees. And then number 4th team would be the Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers. There's your top 5.
Yeah,
So,
pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, Judge is Judge. Why else are the Yankees winners of 4 in a row and 8 out of 10? You got pitching?
Yeah. And did you see the play that Carlos Rodon made yesterday? Came off the mound, and I couldn't even. It was a ball hit close to the third base line, just a dribbler. He comes off the mound and he pounces on that thing and makes a throw to first that was unbelievable. So Volpe, the shortstop, began calling him the left-handed Derek Jeter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was that kind of play. You need to find it and watch it. It was really a phenomenal play, and it was a bang play at first, but he got the out.
Got the out.
Yeah. You know, the Yankees are good. Let's just face it, they're good. Judge is leading that team, but you know they're strong in pretty much every aspect of the game.
So the cry to get rid of Boone in the offseason didn't work because he's managing and he's doing a good job.
Yeah, 14 games over 500
without Soto.
Yeah, without Soto, and you know, and to be honest, I didn't think they'd miss Soto that much. I think they're missing Stanton more than they're missing Soto. They need they need to get him back. They need to get him back.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
Soto, is he hustling even more for the Mets? Have you heard any more about that?
I haven't heard anything else about that. Hopefully that little talk that Carlos Mendoza had with him helped, you know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll talk about Freddie Freeman here in a minute. Let's talk about this schedule and also this guy, Stephen Kolek. Is that how you say his name? K-O-L-E-K? Stephen Kolek, so I'm going to go with Padres.
Yeah.
Interesting stories. But here's today's schedule. The Dodgers and Cleveland day game. Minnesota-Tampa Bay day game. Giants-Detroit day game. Red Sox and Milwaukee in the day. As is Chicago, the White Sox and New York battle the Mets. Houston hosting Athletics. The Pirates in Arizona. Miami at San Diego. Those are all day games. Under the lights tonight, Cardinals in Baltimore. A.J. Smith-Shawver for the Braves and Zach Wheeler for the Phillies.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. 6:45 airtime in Philly. Hunter Green for the Reds and Noah Cameron will go for the Royals in KC.
Cincinnati's going for the sweep tonight in Kansas City.
Toronto at Texas. Colorado battle the Cubs in Wrigley. The Angels hosting the Yankees. The Yankees will go to Dodger Stadium this weekend. That's a big showdown series.
That is. That's the one everybody's going to want to see.
Oh, yes. The Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Ohtani against Judge and so on and so on. Yeah. And then the Nationals in Seattle tonight. Those are the games. Freddie Freeman, so he gave $1 million?
Yeah. So to the hospital that helped him with his child last year. And
Children's Hospital of Orange County helped keep his son alive. Max, 3-year-old son, almost died. And so after watching how they took care of him and all the other kids, he and his wife Chelsea said, we're going to give him $1 million. That's pretty strong.
That's awesome.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that axes out Rafael Devers and all this me garbage.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman says, they saved my kid's life. They're in there saving kids' lives every day. We're going to give $1 million to the cause. I love that.
Yeah.
Good job, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Stephen Kolek. Walked off the mound after a half inning, trailed by 6 runs, had thrown a whopping 38 pitches. 2 hours later, he's walking off the very same mound with a win. With a win.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. A first pitcher to earn a win after allowing at least 6 runs in the first inning since Mark Burley did it for the White Sox in 2006. First one to do so with all those runs being earned since Bartolo Colon did it for Cleveland in 1999. That's pretty cool.
That is.
That
was really neat.
So everything's good right now in your world?
Yeah. Doing good. I wanted to mention one thing to you. We talked about last week on Friday, we talked a lot about Aaron Judge and just how great he's playing and everything. And we talked today about Shohei Ohtani, and Ohtani's leading all baseball with 20 home runs at this point in the season. Aaron Judge, you would think would be leading the American League in home runs. He is not.
Judge not leading the American League?
He is not leading the American League in home runs. He is second in the American League in home runs with 18. So Shohei Ohtani has 20, leading all of baseball. Judge has 18.
I don't know who it is.
And he is second in the American League in home runs. So let me tell you who is leading the American League in home runs. Cal Raleigh, the catcher for the Seattle Mariners, is leading the American League in home runs. Now, so
I'd never guessed that.
So I started thinking about that because a catcher has never hit 50 home runs in a season. He's on pace to do it. He's on pace to do that. So the most home runs in one season by a catcher was 48
by
Salvador Perez.
Kansas
hit
City
48 in 1921. Or not 2021, excuse me, 2021. So second is Johnny Bench with 45 in 1970. That was his first MVP year. And only a few catchers have hit more than 40. Javi Lopez, 43 in 2003. Todd Hundley for the Mets in 1996 hit 41. Roy Campanella hit 41 in 1953. And Mike Piazza hit 40 in 1997 and 1999.
So this guy's on pace.
So he is on pace to do it. He's on pace to hit 50 home runs in a season. The first catcher to ever do it if he's able to do it.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Cal Raleigh?
Cal Raleigh.
R-A-W-L-E-Y?
Like Raleigh, North Carolina. R-A-L-E-I-G-H.
Cal Raleigh. Had no clue.
Yeah.
That's why we bring him on.
Yeah.
Mr. Baseball.
So he has been just knocking the cover off the ball. And that's what we want to keep seeing. I love that. I love the fact that a guy that a lot of people have not heard of, even though he's been around for a few years now, and he has hit with power throughout his career, but this year he has really stepped it up a notch. And like I said, he's on pace to exceed that 50 home run mark, and I hope he does it.
I do too. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I always liked the catchers. You were a catcher, weren't you?
I was a catcher.
Yeah. I like you too, but I always just liked the catchers. In fact, the Elizabethan catcher, J.D. Hooks, kicks that leg out defensively remember like Tony Pena used to do it?
He does that?
Oh, yeah. Gets his right leg, kicks all the way out. He's down there on the ground, obviously.
Trying to get as low as he can get.
Low as he can get.
Yeah.
And so, remember Manny Sanguin used to do that for the Pirates?
Yeah. He was probably the first one to ever really start that.
Tony Pena
took it to another level.
Yep. So who was your favorite catcher to watch, Bench?
Bench by far, yeah. Oh, yeah. He defined what catching is now. I mean, he changed the position.
When I was a kid, I watched him throw out. Lou Brock never came up out of the catcher's stance. Is that what you call a catcher's stance?
Yeah.
Catcher's position, catcher's stance. Snapped it down. Jack Billingham was pitching. I'll never forget this. Lou Brock threw it down to second.
Yeah.
Concepcion took the throw, gone. Lou Brock.
Yeah.
Never got up. Just snapped it.
There's not a lot of catchers could say they threw out Lou Brock.
Standing or sitting.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, Lou Brock threw him out. So,
yeah.
And my father said, what did he say? He said, goodness gracious sakes alive, Martha White, that boy can throw. Said, you're right, Daddy, he can throw.
So his pitchers always had to be on their toes because they said a lot of catchers, would throw the ball over the pitcher's head on the throw down to second. Johnny Bench would hit them in the chest.
Oh yeah.
If they didn't get out of the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I read that too. It's coming, a screamer. You better get out of the way.
That's right.
Take a step off the mound because it's coming.
Yeah.
And it's a bullet.
Yeah. And he made the comment one time, and I heard him say this. He said, you put Don Gullett on the mound, and he said, I could throw out any man alive. I don't care who it is.
Really?
That's what he said.
Wow.
Yep. He said, put Don Gullett on the mound, and I could throw him out.
He was up the track last month promoting the baseball game. I'd rather go see him, go see the game.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Give me 10 seconds, stand beside Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
Him and Tony Perez.
I have a picture with Johnny Bench, and so
you got a picture of Johnny Bench?
Yeah, I met him one time. It was in Knoxville. It was in the early 90s, I guess, and got a ball signed by him, and got my picture taken with him. So
I would just like to have a picture taken beside Tony Perez. That was my boy, first baseman.
So I got to meet him one time too.
I wore 24 in his honor. Loved him.
Yeah.
They used to say in the clubhouse whether he's 4 for 4, 0 for 4, never changed.
Yeah.
His demeanor was always the same.
Yeah.
He was the clubhouse glue. In fact, Rose and Morgan said, without Perez in the clubhouse, we would not have done what we did because he was a stabilizer.
Yeah.
Good game, he was okay. Bad game, he was okay. Just steady as you go.
He used to tell those guys it didn't matter what they did. If he didn't hit, that they weren't going to win. And he was right. I mean, you look at his RBI totals.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you got Morgan and Rose batting ahead of you. You're going to have a lot of RBIs, but he came through. You talk about a clutch hitter. He was the guy that we talked about teams not being able to hit with runners in scoring position. He was a guy that when it mattered, he came through.
Oh yeah,
he sure did.
I remember. Hello, Piper Smith. How you doing? Your shoes are here at Double C, Tom. Thank you, Piper. My shoes have arrived.
Hey, all right.
She's such a redneck. I like her.
You don't have to go barefooted anymore.
No. Them socks have been awful wet the last 2 or 3 days, Piper. Thank you, dear. She's a sweetie. She and her little buddy, Albert. Allie. I call her Albert.
Mhm.
Oh, I just love to pull the chain. My name's not Albert. My name's Allie. Okay, Albert.
Yeah.
I said, what's your last name? She said, Nunya. I said, okay, it's Albert Nunya then.
That's great.
She's a hoot. Oh,
Yeah.
Two little high school girls they're neat. They work there at Double C. So my shoes are there. So now the world knows my shoes are at Double C. Thank you, Piper. That's okay.
Awesome.
Buy them there. So anyway, we're talking about the Reds and Perez. Oh yeah, I just like to meet him. So
Yeah.
get an autograph with the guy. So I got an autograph picture in my studio, not with me and him, but
Mhm.
just with him. Tony Perez, 4 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 4. He's still the same guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was the I know what I was going to tell you. So we go watch him when I was a kid. They're playing the Cardinals, and Al Roboski, the Mad Hungarian, was pitching,
Mhm.
and Perez cranked one out, a game-winning walk-off home run.
Mhm.
It hits by here to that lady in the stands from us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
we could hear it, and the place went nuts.
Wow.
And the doggy, they call him Doggy, Tony Perez, and he was the player of the game. He interviewed Joe Nuxall. We heard it on the radio in the car.
Yeah.
So he couldn't
Oh,
talk.
yeah.
He broken English because he couldn't talk. He was
Right. From Cuba.
from Cuba. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So they had one of those reunions.
Albert says that was not nice. Little does she know that I live to jerk people's chains.
Oh,
right?
that's right.
There
That's
you go.
right.
We've been together how many years?
A long time,
I'll pull-
8 or 9.
I pulled yours a time or two. and
Yes,
pulled
you
mine
have.
too,
I pull it back.
That's it. So she said
That's what you got to do. Just pull his chain.
She says
Pull his chain.
that was not nice, Albert. I love it. Little Albert Nunya. So there you go.
So my daughter calls him Tommy Toe Tomato. If you want to know a
That's
name
it.
for Tom.
Yes, she does.
So
Tommy
there's
Toe Tomato.
Tommy Toe Tomato. So.
Yep, she does.
Yeah.
And I call her Abagoo.
Yeah.
It's not Abigail, it's Abagoo.
So I was going to tell you, they had one of those reunions. You know how they have reunions of the World Series teams
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and so they were celebrating. I don't know if it's 75 or 76 team, because this guy was on both teams. But they got the whole teams up there on the stage, and people are asking them questions, and they're talking, and they're joking around with each other just like we do, and like you did with this young girl and stuff, And Doug Flynn, was a rookie in 1975. What a year to be a rookie for the Reds. 1975. Made the team, played 75 and 76. He was traded then for Tom Seaver. So Doug Flynn is on the stage with Bench, Rose, Morgan, Perez, Concepcion, Drummond. All these guys are on the stage with him. And he tells them, he says, guys, he said, I just want y'all to know, he said, the only reason that we won those 2 World Series was because of me. Because when you traded me, you didn't win another one.
Good point.
He said, after I was gone, there wasn't nothing.
Nothing dried up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Of course, could be that they traded Tony Perez around the same time.
Yeah.
But
which was.
But I thought that was hilarious.
It was
what Doug Flynn said to him.
And I'm sure they got a great reaction from those guys. Oh yeah. So,
Oh yeah. And I mean, how could they argue with him though?
can't lie with the facts don't lie, like it says on Dragnet.
That's right.
So you've got Morgan's gone, Rose is gone
Mhm.
off that team.
Yeah.
Everybody else still alive.
Gullett's
right?
gone.
Don Gullett's
Don
gone.
Gullett passed away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't Billingham pass away too?
No, he's still around.
Wayne Simpson passed away.
Yes.
The big right-hander.
So
we're going back down the road to the Reds history. So
Yeah.
does your mom like the Reds?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ev likes the Reds.
Tom Seaver was her favorite player. She loved Tom Seaver.
Well, understandably so.
She has some Tom Seaver baseball cards.
He was handsome too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was probably some of it. So that's okay. All right. Are you hungry?
I'm hungry. Yes, sir.
All right. Go get you some food. I'll see you next week.
Okay, I'll be here.
Good job. Quick break. We'll be
Thank
right
you.
back for, ironically enough, it's time to see Miss Diana from Double C Western Supply on the Tom Dillard Sports Show. And again, with Double C Western Supply, a lot of Western stores out there. What do you feel like separates Double C from all the other competition?
I feel like there's a lot of things that separate us. Our customer service, I feel like we help our customers very well. I feel like we're very friendly, and at least we try to be. We strive to be a friendly, family-based business. I also feel like our prices are very good. I feel like we try to keep our prices and our merchandise to a point that the whole family can shop here, and I mean, some things do have to be a little more expensive just because of the nature, but I feel like we try to keep our prices down low enough. And just we're always just striving to get the next newest merchandise, the best merchandise that we can for them, and just we just try our best to do the best we can all the time. So I feel like, you know, mainly that our customer service and our prices kind of differentiate us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Double C Western Supply on Railroad Street in Elizabethton. Again, social media, they're there, and also the website, doublecwestern.com. So, proud sponsor of the show, Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Miss Diana and the great folks at Double C Western Supply in Elizabethton. Be loyal, buy local, buy it in Betsy. Amazon doesn't sponsor your ball teams, but Double C Western Supply does.
I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best.
I love that saying. In America, the impossible is what we do best. Is why we're the greatest country in the world. Hit that bell. Absolutely. Hello to Danny Williams. Hello to Rick Ranson down in Pensacola, Florida. How you doing, sir? Thanks for watching the show. Show number 2296. We're broadcasting live here at Chick-fil-A, home of the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. We thank you for being with us wherever you may be. As the late Rush Limbaugh would say, across the fruited plain. And so my shoes are in at Double C Western Supply. They have reordered again the Huey cologne sets. They're 40% off through June the 14th for moms and dads and grads. And so you've got the Montana Silversmith jewelry, 75% off at Double C. And they got a 60% clearance rack at Double C Western Supply on Railroad Street in Elizabethton. One of my favorite places to shop. In fact, comes to this shirt, my shoes. Got a whole closet full of shirts from Double C. And I got shoes from there. Pants about there. Bib overalls about the bibs somewhere else. Got them a long time ago. But got jeans from there. Love shopping at Double C. My buddy Sam's there. And Albert, Nunya, and Piper Smith are there. And Missy's there. They do a great job. And they got everything on sale, as we told you, for Mother's Day, graduation, and Dad's Day, Father's Day coming up in a couple of weeks. And so shop at Double C Western Supply in Elizabethton. Tennessee taking on Oklahoma in the World Series of softball coming up on Friday at 2:30, I believe it is, start time. 2 o'clock, 2:30. Let's see what we got here. We have 2:30, that's what I thought, ESPN. Oklahoma, it's an 8-team double elimination bracket, begins tomorrow. Final 2 teams will play for the title in the best of 3 starting June the 4th. Patty Gasso, who will coach the United States in the Summer Olympics, has led the Sooners to 8 national titles, 6 out of the last 8, 7 out of the last 10. Tennessee plays them first. Somebody said it's an unfair pairing. Come on, you got to play them. Just play them. Beat them. Be done with it. Just play them. Well, you can't beat them. Oh, yeah, you can. Can't have that attitude. Of course you can beat them. If you don't think you beat them, don't even get on the plane and go out there. Absolutely. My goal, I can beat them. We're going to beat them. Period. End of story. First game will be Florida and Texas tomorrow at noon. Number 3, Florida. Number 6, Texas. Then the Lady Vols in Oklahoma at 2:30. Tomorrow night, Texas Tech, 12th-seeded Lady Red Raiders will take on Ole Miss. And the other game will be number 9, UCLA and Oregon. The Lady Ducks are number 16 in the country. So that's your 4 games. Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, UCLA, Oregon. SEC has 5 teams out of 8 in the College World Series of softball. It's awesome. So Tennessee, of course, Pickens, NCAA record, the fastest pitch ever recorded in softball, 79.4 miles an hour, which is unbelievable. So they'll play Friday at 2:30. Go Lady Vols. Well, we're going to have trouble beating them. It's all how you look at it. But I thought if I ever went into a game or any kind of an event competition, I didn't think I was going to win, I wouldn't go. Absolutely, I think I'm going to win. That should be the attitude of everybody. We're going to win. We're going to make it happen. All right, Tennessee baseball. The Volunteers will take on Miami of Ohio Friday night at 6 o'clock in Knoxville, Linton Nelson Stadium. The 4 teams in that regional will be, of course, Tennessee, Miami of Ohio, Cincinnati, and Wake Forest will play the other game. Those are the other teams in the bracket. In Nashville, where East Tennessee State's at, on the baseball regionals. Hello, Dan Gould. That's a new name. Thank you, sir, for watching. Hawkins Field in Nashville, East Tennessee State. The Buccaneers at 41-15 will take on the Louisville Cardinals, 35-21. The other 2 teams are Vanderbilt and Wright State. So that's the Nashville regional. Let's run them down real quick, let you know. In Texas, the Austin regional, Texas, Houston Christian, Kansas State, University of Texas, and San Antonio. In Arkansas, the Fayetteville regional, Arkansas, North Dakota State, Creighton, and Kansas. In Auburn will be the Tigers, Central Connecticut, Stetson, and NC State. In Chapel Hill, North Carolina, these all start tomorrow or Friday. They start Friday, the baseball. North Carolina, Holy Cross, Nebraska, and Oklahoma are in Chapel Hill. That's a pretty tough bracket right there. LSU, Baton Rouge will be LSU, Little Rock, Rhode Island, and Dallas Baptist. In Athens, Georgia will be the Bulldogs, Binghamton, Oklahoma State, and the Duke Blue Devils in that regional. Corvallis at Oregon State and Corvallis, Oregon. Oregon State, St. Mary's, Southern Cal, and TCU. At Florida State, you have Florida State, Bethune-Cookman, Mississippi State, and Northeastern. In the Oxford Regional, Ole Miss will be hosting Murray State, Western Kentucky, and the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. The Clemson Regional, you will have Clemson, South Carolina Upstate, Kentucky, and West Virginia. The Eugene, Oregon Regional in baseball will be Oregon, Utah Valley, Cal Poly, and Arizona. And the Conway Regional in Conway, South Carolina, at Coastal Carolina will be Coastal Carolina, Fairfield, East Carolina, and Florida. And there's 2 more in UCLA or at UCLA in Los Angeles will be the Bruins, Fresno State, Arizona State, and UC Irvine. And then the Hattiesburg Regional at Southern Mississippi will be Southern Miss, Columbia, Miami, and Alabama. Those are your teams playing in the baseball tournament coming up. It all starts there on all these games on Friday. The softball starts tomorrow. So softball's down to the College World Series in Oklahoma City. Brandon Sweeney's on his way. He inadvertently went to the wrong Chick-fil-A, and he said, I'll be here in a few minutes. I said, that's good. We'll get him on when he gets here. We'll talk. Got lots to talk about. Get his take on the college football playoffs. Get his take on, of course, he's the assistant athletic director for Milligan University, so we'll see what he says about the Buffaloes wrapping up an outstanding athletic season. All that coming up here as we work our way through a Wednesday, May the 28th, final Wednesday of the month. It's hard to believe. It is clicking off. This year is flying by. What do we say, 210 days till Christmas Eve? It's hard to believe. All right, back after this from Chick-fil-A on show number 2296 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
I walked into Chick-fil-A completely outnumbered. My husband was away at military leadership training, and the kids were doing this. Miss Carol brought me water, something to eat, and then before I knew it, she was tying Margot's shoes up and carrying her out to the car.
It always makes me feel good if that helps somebody.
I went in the next day because I just wanted to make sure she knew how much I appreciated her help.
I'm just so glad there was somebody there when she really needed it.
That's gonna go on my refrigerator.
And the Tom Taylor Sports Show. A lot of furniture stores. Why Cannon's Fine Home Furnishing, sir?
We have a lot of reasons. We're homegrown. Our kids are in the local schools, local sports. We support as many as we can. We take our money, goes to the local banks, stays in the local banks. And you support local, the money just turns around and just rethunder it back into the community. We've been here a long time, and we are proud to be in Elizabethton. I would never move anywhere else. We love this town, and our kids love this town. It's unusual. Chris and Eric, when they were little, 6, 8 years old, they come to us and say, I don't never want to leave this town. I want to always live here, and they both live here. And you couldn't beat them out of Elizabeth, I don't think. So, we live in a great area. We were great people. It's just a great place to live, and we're glad to have a business here.
Be loyal, buy local, buy it in Betsy. Hours are open.
Open 10 to 6 during the week, 9 to 5 on Saturday. We can open on special hours. If somebody needs a late at night appointment, we can do that. So,
how do we find you on social media?
Just put in Cannon's Side Home Furnishings. You'll see Facebook. Our Facebook page comes up. Now on Facebook each week, we do 10 to 15 specials. It's just super deals. So check that out. And then of course our website is cannonshomestore.com. Great website. It's getting better. We are working on it, and it's a good website now, but it's going to be even better in the future.
Great sponsor, the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Be loyal, buy local, shop and buy it in Betsy downtown at Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings.
We're proud to help our region move forward and help reopen every business we can.
And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. I love this story. Terry Bradshaw talking about Aaron Rodgers. I love it, love it, love it. Hit that bell. I'm in total agreement. What's this guy waiting on? I mean, really. Either you're going to play with the Steelers or you're not going to play with the Steelers. He's still waiting to decide. What's he got to wait to decide on? They're going to give him what he wants. He's 41 years old. He's proved to be kind of a goof, really. An outstanding talent, Hall of Famer, certainly. But the way he handles things, this is the guy who went into a room, for weeks, a couple of years ago, and I think he said he laid there naked for weeks in the bed trying to decide whether he's going to play football or not. And this guy's a real piece of work. Aaron Rodgers, incredible talent, but a little burn on the edges, I think. So anyway, Terry Bradshaw, the legendary 4-time Super Bowl winning Steelers quarterback, blistered the Steelers for even waiting on this guy. And he says, quote, "It's a joke. That to me is just a joke. What are you going to do? Bring him in for 1 year? Are you kidding me? This guy needs to stay in California, go somewhere and chew on bark, and whisper to the gods," end quote. Hit it. I love it. Aaron Rodgers, we're going to find out what Brandon Sweeney says about him. What are we waiting on? Either you're going to play or you're not going to play. So the Steelers have come up with a contingency plan. Kirk Cousins, they're going to look at him now just in case Rodgers doesn't want to play or doesn't decide. He said he'd let us know about the NFL draft. Draft's been gone, 3 weeks, 2 weeks? We're still not decided what we're going to do. Mr. Sweeney, I promise you will have an answer. He will have an opinion. I don't know if he has an answer. He'll have an opinion. Hello, Mikey Blevins. Hello, Marilyn Thompson. It's a new name. Hello, Floyd Nave. We'll take a break. He's here. I'm getting excited. We're going to talk about Buff Sports. They've had a phenomenal year. We're getting jacked up already to help next year. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this from the Eagle Center. You're watching show number 2296 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Center, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tammy Troutman. A lot of antique stores out there. Why come to the Eagle Center?
Oh my goodness, there are so many reasons to come and visit the Eagle Center. We have wonderful vendors, nearly 50 vendors who have the best merchandise. They hunt, they pick, they're always changing it out, keeping it clean and fresh and new and interesting, and we have wonderful vendors.
Yes, you do. And we're going into the spring. We're in spring and summer. Great time coming down downtown Elizabeth and shop here because the inventory changes all the time.
Yes, it does. And we have air conditioning, so you can come in, cool off, look at things, browse. We have 2 levels of just about everything you could think of.
Gift certificates?
We have gift certificates available. We have layaway available.
Yep, you can do those. Get a gift certificate. They can come back and get what they want when they want, or do a layaway for down the road, even into the holidays. You can do that. It's all right here. The hours are open.
We're open 10 to 5 every single day except for Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And where do we find you on social media?
We're on Eagle Center Co-op on Facebook, and then Eagle Center Antiques on Instagram.
And the phone number we have to call to find out,
The phone
talk to
number
you?
is 542-6674.
There you go. One of our great sponsors here on the Tom Dillard Sports Show and on Cyclone Sports, the Eagle Center in downtown Elizabethton. Back on the Tom Dillard Sports Show. Look who stopped by. I'm glad he did. So, hello, sir.
How you doing?
Been a while.
Yeah.
You have been to Indiana? Where else have you been since we've last had you on the show? You've been
boy.
everywhere. You're like Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I was out in Nashville for a short time. Had my family come into town for a little bit. Indiana, was helping with the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournaments back when they were happening at the beginning of May for softball. I stat at every game for that tournament. So
Wow. Wow.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of statting. Yeah. It's a lot of numbers. As you go home and go, my mind's just.
Yeah.
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 I would
After
think
those
so.
days were done, I was like, okay, I need a mental break for a day.
I would think so. We're going to talk about Milligan Sports coming up here in a second. We love the Buffs. Another great year. We won the Cup, won the award. So we're going to talk about that. It was a big honor to be the number one team in the conference. So I do want to get your take on a couple of things in sports.
Mhm.
Let's start with what I was talking about before when you came in. Aaron Rodgers. This guy's a nut job. Incredible talent. I would tell him that he was sitting there. He may hit me, but look, he's 41 years old, which has nothing to do. He's Hall of Famer. But he can't decide whether he wants to play or not. He's got the Steelers on hold. He's got basically the NFL to a point on hold. Steelers went out and said, okay, in case he doesn't play, we're going to talk to Kirk Cousins. So my question to you is, if Christian offered you that job, which he did as assistant athletic director, and you say, let me think about it, there's a period of time in which you have a chance to think about it. I got to talk to my wife. You and Beth sit down and talk about it. I get that. All right, there is a period, but we, I think, have since gone past that period, have we not? I mean, this guy, what is he waiting on? I don't get it. You know, the Jets, that was a disaster. So now he's coming to, the Steelers want him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, because I don't get it. Number one, how they let him wait that long? Because if you were in their shoes, you would say, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You coming or not?
Well, I think, honestly, I think that they have an understanding already that he's going to sign. He just doesn't want to go to mini camps or OTAs or any of that stuff beforehand. So I think they have an understanding with him that he's going to sign with the team. But I just believe that being as, the veteran stature that he has, he is basically telling them, I'm not coming to any of the optional voluntary OTA stuff in the off season, so I'm just not going to sign until all that's over. I think that's basically what it is.
But why? Because all that does is promote morale. Like, okay, this guy's, he wants to win. He's coming in doing whatever it takes, going the extra mile. Instead, he says, I'm coming. I'm coming. I want to.
And it could be that he, at this point in his career, values having more free time than he does winning. In the end, I think for him, he's collecting a paycheck when he signs. In the current time right now, he's made enough money. He doesn't have to sign if he doesn't want. But I think at this point, he kind of has an understanding with them where he is going to sign unless something crazy happens and that takes him away from that. But like I said, I think there's some sort of understanding between both parties at this point, because otherwise I just don't see how the Steelers could just continue to wait on that decision, because you've got to make other decisions to figure out who your quarterback's going to be, because it surely is not going to be Mason Rudolph.
No, it probably won't be Skylar Thompson. May not be Will Howard, the guy they drafted. Now they're talking to Cousins, so everything's just, it's like a domino effect. It's like, okay, well then somebody needs to come out and say, either the Steelers say, okay, he's coming, but he don't want to come to the mandatory, to the OTAs, okay.
Hey.
Or he says, I'm coming, but I'm going to come when I want to. Then everybody be okay with it, but just to be in total limbo all the time like it's a big mystery.
And I think that part of it, too, is that Rodgers, from a personality standpoint, likes to have the spotlight a lot as well.
Absolutely.
So he probably doesn't want it to come out, because he wants people to keep talking about him over and over and over again for months.
Which we're doing
until
in
the
East
season happens,
Tennessee.
which is exactly what's happening right now.
On the Tom Davis Sports Show. And you know what? I'm not talking about it anymore. We are knowing a moratorium on Aaron Rodgers effective now. Mr. Sweeney said we ain't doing it anymore. If he signs, he signs. If he signs with a slippery rock or wherever, then so be it. But we're not talking about it anymore. There you go. So we're done. All right. The Raiders, my boys, Super Bowl bound. Told my daughter, she's like, really? I said, yeah. Get your Super Bowl tickets. The Raiders are there. She went to Vegas on vacation. Man, we're out here at this place. Their football stadium is beautiful. I said, those are the Super Bowl champs. She said, okay, Dad. But we signed A.J. Cole.
We did.
We signed Geno
Extension
Smith.
for the punter.
Max
Geno
Crosby.
Smith. Max Crosby.
Is there hope? Is there optimism for us Raider fans? You and me and Kenny Hawkins?
I mean, the thing is, every year, there's optimism. You come in, you're like, okay, the team made some changes. The thing is, if we don't, my hope is that the coaching staff that they brought in, some really, highly thought of people like Chip Kelly on the offensive side.
Right.
Patrick Graham's been good in the DC role when he's had his players. I think if they can just come up with an offense that works, that everyone's able to use their strengths in entirety on the offense, I think that's going to be a much improved offense than it was last year. And that really was last year's downfall, was just our offense could not score points. They could not keep up, and that put a ton of stress on the defense, which really, when your defense is under stress, in the end, the wall is going to break.
Sure.
It's going to give up a lot of points. So that's always been the Raiders' thing in the last couple of years, is just making sure their offense is consistent. And I think that with Chip Kelly, that can happen.
We're talking to Brandon Sweeney. We're talking sports. We're here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City tomorrow. Lingerfield Drug Center. Friday will be at Food City. Kicking off the weekend, the final weekend of the month. Hard to believe June's coming in this weekend. Hard to believe for me.
Mm-hmm.
So the college football playoff. We got the SEC. We got the Big Ten together. We got the ACC and the Big 12. Then you look at inside the SEC, you got the administrator or the athletic directors against the coaches to a point, because they want one thing and the coaches want another thing, and so it's a big mess. December the 1st is the suggested date. Come up with a new college football playoff for next season. This year's already taken care of. So we're going to 16, looks like. We have the 5-11 format and the 4-4-2-2-1 format. Which one do you like and why? Or neither one?
I mean, I think there definitely needs to be change from last year, which there is. I do like the straight seeding. I just think that makes the most sense to me. You rank the teams, and it's based off of that you get your seeding for the tournament. I just think that makes the most sense. Like conference champions, that's almost a different thing. Like the college football playoff should just be separate completely from conference champions. Like, sure, you win a Power 4 conference championship. That doesn't make you better than the second best SEC team or the second best Big Ten team if you win the Big 12 or if you win the ACC.
Good point.
Those types of things at this point, with the way Division I football has changed, I don't think it's the same. I think straight seeding with a committee of people who are unbiased would be the best way to do this.
But there's the key.
Yeah,
unbiased. Are they unbiased? Probably
exactly.
not.
No. And that's always the challenge, is to find an unbiased group of people that'll make the right decisions on those things. But obviously that's always the challenge.
That's the flaw in the system. Absolutely.
And I don't know how you fix that.
No. Well, so as you're looking at the top 4 seating right now, the men in the room would sit down and go, okay, I'm just going to pick 4 teams. Not Notre Dame. Ohio State. I don't know who else would be out there I'd pick. I'm just going to grab them. Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, and pick somebody else. And so they will set the seating, the people in the room, based on the stats that they're going to accumulate and sit down and run it through a bunch of models, and they're going to say, here's the 4 teams. Boom, here we go. All right, the other 12 teams will get in by how? Top 4 are in. They're going to be a 16-team format. How do you get the other 12 teams? What will determine them?
Well, I just think, like I say, I just think it should be the top certain numbers, and I think you should still include the highest ranked conference champion from a non-Power 4. I think that team should be included. If they're the 16th best team or the 12th best team in the 12-team format, then that's what they are. They're the 12. The rest of them, like I said, I just think it needs to be at large, but it's got to be the best teams that you can find out of a biased group of people to make those selections. And I don't know that I really putting more criterium in there, I feel like makes it actually muddier. I just think it's better if you just look at all the teams and you just say, okay, these are my best 12 teams. These are my teams that make it. Which the thing is, people try to make things smarter and better, and a lot of times those just create issues.
Yep, they muddy the waters.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. Is just you got to find your best 12, and that's based off every criteria that you've done in the past. But find your best 12 teams, and those are the teams you want in your tournament.
Sankey wants the commissioner of the SEC wants a 4-4-2-2-1 format. 4 teams SEC, 4 teams Big Ten, 2 ACC, 2 Big 12s in a group Power 6 conference, and 3 at-larges. They take that particular foursome and pull a team out of that one. So you get 4-4-2-2-1. Then you got the other models 5 and 11. Your top 5, so you'd be your conference champs, or be your top 5, and everything else is at-large. I don't know how you come up with the at-large teams. I don't know if they got that point yet. So, but then to add to it, the caveat to that whole scenario is they're meeting right now. The SEC coaches, administrators, athletic directors meeting down in Destin right now this week, and so the athletic administrators want to go to a 9-team conference schedule. Coaches want 8, so they can't agree on that because it will affect the format of how they're going to do the playoff format.
Yeah.
So it's like a domino effect. So which do you come first, the chicken or the egg? So they can't sit down and go, okay, we're going to do an 8 or 9 team conference. They find out what the format's going to be, and the format's not been decided because you have to go back in and figure all these other conferences. But as I've said all along, and I'm right, because it says here, at the end of the day, the SEC and the Big Ten, they control it, and they're going to run it. They're going to get what they want. So these other guys in the ACC and Big 12 says, we're going to dig our heels in. We're not going away. We're going to fight for our teams, and I get that too. So I don't know how you're going to come to a resolution.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just think anytime you're trying to create a tournament like this that's going to be so financially profitable,
yes,
in the way that it is,
big bucks,
everybody's going to want pieces of that pie, and especially the SEC and the Big Ten, who know that they are the premier conferences.
Yes, and
they're going to want the majority of that pie.
Yeah,
and so obviously it's going to create issues with other Power 4 conferences, ACC and Big 12, because they feel like their team should also be shown in that same respect. But again, like you said, SEC commissioner saying 4-4-2-2-1. That's putting a it's putting a mark of superiority on their conference over conferences like the ACC and Big 12, who think that, hey, you're not superior. We're the same size. We're a Power 4 conference. Like, we are the 4 Power 4 conferences. We should be even. But the thing is, you look off track record of previous years and the team's competitiveness, and it does definitely look like the SEC and Big 10 are the more competitive conferences.
16 out of the last 20 national champs, Big 10 or SEC. They said, we got the leverage. We're going to control the shots, and they will. And, of course, looming on the horizon, I've said this for a year now, the SEC and the Big Ten have actually hinted that, we can spin off and do our own thing.
Yeah.
We can have our own super conference and tell you boys to take a hike. You're going to be left holding the bag, the ACC and the Big 12, and so we'll just go do our own super conference. They would have the television rights. They'd have the big name schools. They could easily do that.
Oh, yeah.
So if we don't get what we want, we'll take our toys and leave the sandbox.
Yeah, without an issue. They would have no problem with that. They'd probably make more money than they currently make by doing that.
Absolutely.
Because, even more media outlets would be wanting to be involved in that because it's such a novel thing. TV, TV would be all over it.
Absolutely. Well put.
So, yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I do think that's something that will happen pretty soon unless some sort of litigation happens before then to make it so they cannot do such a thing.
This is what we want. We're going to get what we want. If we don't get what we want, okay, we're going to lay low and we're going to come out and go, we're going to do a super conference. You hide and watch. And they can do it because they've got the leverage to do it. NCAA doesn't have much teeth now. They'll be left everybody else holding the bag, kind of come up, because they could easily come out with their own super conference, have their own playoff.
Yeah, I mean, they could
crown their own champion.
They could pull out of the NCAA fully if they wanted.
Absolutely.
Not that they would necessarily do that, but it's possible. And in the end, they wouldn't have to share any sort of revenues with the NCAA if they do such a thing. Like, it would just be all for them.
So,
which is what it's about nowadays.
Absolutely.
So
I still say before it's all said and done, the president's going to get involved in this. He's already hinted about it. And so, but somebody's got to come in and go, okay, boom, we're going to make a decision, and this is how it's going to roll, and we'll see. It's going to be, next 30 to 45 days is going to be very interesting in college football, to say the least. NBA Finals. We're talking to Brandon. We'll get to Milligan in a second. That's why he's here. But I love having this guy on the show. So, NBA, you've got the Pacers and the Knicks. Pacers up 3-1. You've got the Timberwolves and the Thunder. Thunder's up, what, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1, 3-1? So is it a foregone conclusion? It's the Thunder and the Pacers? Can these other two come back?
I think if I was going to pick a team to make a comeback, it would probably be New York. And the reasoning for that is twofold. The first reason is the Pacers, I'm not convinced, can hold that lead. Sure, they've won 3 games and 2 of them on the road, so that's really impressive. But I'm not sure because the Knicks, I think, are a more star power filled team. They've got more stars on their team that could really make things happen in a one game at a time sort of format like they're in right now, where they have to win every game left. The Pacers, I think they really don't have that other than Halliburton, and so I think if the Knicks really bear down, they're able to take that series. But I think it'll be Thunder and Pacers in the final at this point. Like I said, I think the Knicks, if they had just an amazing last 3 games of the series, they could pull it out. But I'm leaning Thunder Pacers.
All right. I would go with the Pacers. I think the Pacers will win it all, but that's just me. And I have nothing to base it on except Larry Bird used to coach the Pacers, and I love Larry Bird. And, and Rick Carlisle says he still calls Bird and gets advice on the phone about what to do. So, anyway, I just like the Pacers. Plus, it's a Midwest team. It's it's kind of a Cinderella story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the big marquee matchups that you would expect. The big city, big lights teams.
Yeah.
It's Indiana, which is no knock on them, but it's in the Midwest. I like it. So
I'll tell you, when I was just there in Indiana with track and field, everybody was talking about the Pacers. So that would be huge for that community and that whole area in Indiana to have a champion again. 25 years or something since they've been in the finals. So
be awesome. So he's been on the road, Milligan University. Let's talk about the award. We were the #1 team in the league this year.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's start with that. What's going on there?
Yeah, Appalachian Athletic Conference revealed the winners of the Deward Walker All Sports Trophy. Milligan ended up pulling it out. We, in the conference across all sports, we amassed the most points for highest conference finishes in the AAC with 406 points on the year. Reinhardt behind us at 400 came in second, so we pulled it out. And last year Reinhardt won the trophy, so we ended up improving and jumped them this year. So
awesome.
That's impressive.
Love it.
We also won the women's sports trophy, and the men's sports trophy went to Reinhardt. So we won the women's one individually, and then all sports combined, we took that one. So.
Awesome. We just finished up the athletic season. Everything's pretty well done now. It finished with track and field, and we had some national champions. We had a lot of hard work coming back to Milligan. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we sure did. We had 2 national champions. We had our 4x800 meter relay team, our men's one. They set the Milligan record at the national championships in the final.
Wow.
And got the national title, which was their second time winning this year, the national championship, as they won it in the indoor season and the outdoor season. So that was really impressive. Then Bryn Woodall just continues to be just an amazing runner. Won the 1,500 meter championship, national championship, and he actually ended up out kicking Everett Silva from Oklahoma City, who was the cross country national champ this year. So
That's
he
impressive.
ran against Bryn in the 1,500 meter and was leading Bryn the entire race. Last 100 meters, Bryn Woodall kicks past him and finishes in front of him.
The kick.
By about 4 or 5 feet.
That's
so,
awesome.
Really impressive. And then Ellen Mary Kearney on the women's side was the national runner-up in the 1,500 meters. So another really impressive finish from her as well. Second in the whole nation.
National runner-up.
Yep.
And a national champion. Now, are these guys around? Are they gone? Are they scattered?
They probably are gone by now. Yeah, they came back on Sunday, and then I think they left pretty much immediately back home. So
we couldn't catch and get them on the show because they're probably headed out for the summer. But they'll be back in the fall.
Yeah, they will. They'll be back in the fall. Bryn Woodall will be moving on. He won't be with Milligan. He was a senior, so he's graduated. But Ellen Mary Kearney will be back for her senior year. Luis Peralta will be back for his senior year. So we've definitely got a lot of athletes and some new ones as well, newcomers coming in.
How tough would it be to get Chris come be on the show? Is he around?
Yeah, he's around. He would be definitely able to come on and talk with you about everything.
Let's make it happen next Wednesday. We can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Bring him
for
here.
sure.
Feed him and congratulate him. He's a Raiders guy, too.
Yeah.
And talk about the Raiders and talk about, more importantly, Milligan Track and Field. So that was a national champion, 2 national champions,
2 national champs, yeah.
and a national runner-up.
Mhm.
And the team scored how many points?
Team was at 30 for the men's side, and the women's we got 8. So Ellen Mary Kearney gets 8 points for finishing second, and then on the men's side, I take it back, not 30, 20 points for the 2 national champions. So Bryn and the 4x800 team.
That's awesome.
Points. So our men tied for 13th in the nation in the points scoring. So
Very good.
Yeah.
It's impressive. For a school of how many people?
1,200.
1,200?
Yeah.
We keep cranking it. Getting ready for another big year starting. Of course, everybody's gone now. Coach Robinson and some of the summer camps are getting ready to gear up.
Yeah.
Then you look and everybody will be coming back in late July, early August, right?
Yep.
Getting ready to roll again for another
early
year.
August. Everybody coming back, and sports starting mid-August.
Yeah, we start our coverage with volleyball. And Coach Bay's volleyball. And see, also you have soccer.
Yep.
Who plays in the spring? You have the boys soccer, men's soccer in the spring?
In the fall.
I mean in the fall.
Yeah, men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, and cross country.
Plenty to talk about. Yeah. So you're updating records now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually yesterday finished up 5 different sports record books, just getting them back 100% ready and up to go. So baseball, softball, track and field, men's and women's basketball are all good and updated. So.
Talk about the women's golf. They finished strong too, did they not?
Yes, they did. Women's golf ended up placing 10th, which is really impressive. That's last year they finished 14th, and then they've improved this year to 10th. Kate Castle individually finished in a tie for 9th. So top 10 finisher, which is really impressive, and it's the second time she's done that in her career at Milligan, now graduated. So really impressive for them. They Kate Castle was also named a second-team All-American as well at the NAIA level. So lots of hardware for women's golf.
That's awesome. Softball's done. Baseball's done. Everything's done. Basketball, he's got some recruits he signed. It's pretty exciting. He's lost some. Happens. I know Anjay went to St. John's, which is certainly nothing to sneeze at. You go from Milligan to St. John's. That's pretty impressive.
It sure is.
Tom Bay, Anjay gone. So kind of expected that. Hoping he didn't, but guy 7-footer can play.
Yep.
So it is what it is. But again, next man up, you fill in the void, go get more players, and he's done that. Lady Buffs, basketball, they lose some dandies. They got some good ones coming back, too.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of really good transfers. They got someone from UVA Wise coming in to transfer. Name, I'm spacing on the name right now, but should be really helpful. 5'11" winger. So, but yeah, it's going to be a fun season again for Milligan women's basketball. I think they should be able to replace some players that they're losing. Obviously, it's pretty impossible to replace J.C. Jenkins, but but we're going to do their best to do so. Oh, also, wanted to say we got 2 cycling national champs at the road championships just back in the beginning of May. We had the team time trial on the men's side, won, and then also had a men's racer finish in first in the Omnium, which would have been Aiden Papel. So, yeah, really impressive. 2 more national champs for cycling, and that moves our overall department national championships number to 59 now.
59 national championships. Milligan flag football had a great year, too.
Yeah, they had a great year. They ended up going to the National Invitational Tournament in Kansas City. They lost their first 2 against some really tough teams. The first game, they lost by just 1 point, and they were so close to pulling that one out. And then the second game, they played Ottawa, who's like the 4-time defending champs in the nation. And they lost that one. But then they came back, and they went all the way through the consolation bracket, and they won the consolation bracket championship. So
they won the silver, some kind of a silver award, wasn't
Yep,
it?
exactly.
Yeah.
They split it into 2 brackets after the pool play, and so they were in the consolation bracket, which is known as the playoff bracket. And so they were in the playoff bracket and ended up winning that, which is really impressive. They got 3 straight wins to do that.
Yes. That program's very much on the rise.
Yes.
So, Coach Ryan Witten. Good stuff. And again, we were going to do some of the games this year. I guess everybody knows, but now I was sitting in a recliner for 3 weeks with a pinched nerve in my leg, so I couldn't do anything, and I missed doing their games because they were all basically in March. We're going to do them next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, can't change it, but just I hated it because I couldn't do that. Couldn't do the basketball games, the Meadowview, the tournament. However, Mr. Sweeney finagled his as he normally does, and we sat at the house and called the national tournament basketball games at the house off a video feed, thanks to him, and it came off okay.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I went back and watched it when we were when the games were over, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So I got to church the next day because the game was on Saturday in Indianapolis. The ladies lost, and so one of the guys at church said, "Did you drive all night to get back?" And I said, I thought he was joking. He didn't realize I'd sat at the house. I said, I was at the house during the game. He said, "You were?" I said, "Yeah, I didn't go, but still got a chance to put them on the air, and that was good. Had a good reception as far as views, and so it was awesome." So Christian Pope and you guys are kind of catching your breath, recharging, and getting ready to get away for a little while to vacate and get your second win, be ready to go, right?
Yeah, I've got in 1 week, I think, from now, I will be heading to Orlando, Florida for the College Sports Communicators Convention. So I'll be there for about 4 days, and then doing a vacation with the wife for the next 4 days on the coast. So,
awesome.
Should be good. And then once I get back, we're all systems go, getting ready for the fall.
Yeah.
And then also we're going through a hiring process right now. I'm bringing in 2 graduate assistants to help out in the department.
Help you?
Yep.
You need it. Yeah. Yeah. How's Miss Kaylee doing? She still with us?
Yep. She's still here doing all of our graphics stuff. Did a great job with the track and field national championships graphics. Those were really good. Got great engagement. So, yeah,
she does a great job.
We're booming.
Booming. Things are happening in the land of the Buffaloes.
Yep.
And you and Christian are big parts of it. So, love working with you guys. By the way, we're going to do more. We got Milligan more on the radar next year. Volleyball, basketball, maybe soccer. If I can get somebody to help me do soccer. You know anything about soccer? You know enough to.
Yeah, dangerous? I mean, I call our soccer games.
Yeah,
so.
There you go. We may just got it because I wouldn't care a bit to do it. I just don't know what I'm doing with it. I'm not that. But if I got this one here to help me, and of course, volleyball is going to be very exciting. Coach Bays, and so, yep, it all really starts what? Everything gets going mid-August when they start playing.
Yeah,
again?
I think our first actual like our first scrimmage for our fall teams, I think, is August 16th.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then we'll have our first actual counting games about August 22nd or 23rd.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Get you some lunch. Thanks for coming. If we can pull it
Yeah.
off, let's get Coach Lane here. You guys come back next week.
Oh, for sure.
Before you head out, you'll be here. You're still in town next week, aren't
I
you?
will be. I leave June 7th, so yeah, that's just not till Saturday, so I'll
Yeah.
be around.
Yeah, let's get you back in. You and Coach Lane or Christian, somebody come back in there and bring that hardware. And you can bring that trophy, can't you? The Dewar Walker trophy.
Yep, we definitely can.
Oh, let's do that right here next Wednesday at 12:30. Be here. It's good. All right, quick break. We're 210 days away from Christmas. You don't want to hear that, but we are. And so now's a good time, in all seriousness, to start a Christmas Club account from Northeast Community Credit Union. We'll come back and say goodbye right after this. Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors. Christmas Club savings account for next year. Tell me about it.
Yes, let's talk about it because now you're going to have 12 months to do this. What better time than right now to open your Christmas Club savings? There's no cost on this. This is just something that we can help you transfer automatic funds, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, out of your check. So that way you won't even have to worry about it. And each time that you have that transferred, either you can do it yourself or deposit into this account, or we can have automatic draft set up. That's just convenient for you. And like I said, it's just another sub account to your savings and checking at Northeast Community Credit Union. So if you have any questions, visit bemycu.org or come in and see us at one of our convenient locations or call 423-547-1200.
And you cut checks when? Next year? October, November? So when you get your checks?
Yes.
Save it up all year?
Yeah, so direct deposit could be your monthly paycheck.
Okay.
And so you can allocate a percentage of that paycheck into the Christmas Club. And that way, when you get to October, November, it's going to be built up. And so it's a great feature, and people love it.
The Christmas Club savings account for Christmas 2024?
Yes.
From Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports.
This is Pastor Fallow, Pleasant Beach Baptist Church in Elizabethton, and we'd love to have you come be with us. You and your family be with us on Sunday. I'm standing here in the lobby at our visitors table, our welcome table, and there's packets made up with tells you a little more about the church and get acquainted card, and then also a mug and some things in there for you to take with you to remind you to pray for us. And we've got a place for you and your family. We want you to come. Our goal is for you to know the Lord Jesus Christ as your Savior. But beyond that, to find your purpose and contentment in life of knowing Him, walking with Him, and serving Him each day. And so we want you and your family to come be with us Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Wednesday night. We're looking forward to seeing you soon. You can find a little more information about us online at pleasantbeachbaptist.com.
One of our great sponsors on Cyclone Football, again, the great folks at Ivy Hall Nursing Home. Joseph Taylor, tell us what it's all about.
Yes, sir. We specialize in short-term rehab or long-term care. We accept all major insurances. We accept Medicare, Medicaid. What we really love is people that come in that have had a knee replacement, hip replacement, come to Ivy Hall for some inpatient rehab. We have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We have a full-time respiratory therapist. And Tom, you can see I'm a big guy, so you know I like food. I know good food, and Ivy Hall specializes in home-cooked meals, three good meals a day. You can catch me every day right at the door getting my tray myself.
There you go. That's awesome. How do we find out more about Ivy Hall on social media?
Yes, sir. We have a Facebook page, Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Facebook, or a website, ivyhallnursing.com.
One of our great sponsors, folks. Glad to have them on board. Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. All right. Love talking to that guy. he's excited about us doing more Milligan next year. So that's going to do it from here. We thank you for being with us, wherever you may be. It crosses the Lake Rush Limbaugh was there, across the fruited plain, ran a little over. That's okay. We can do that because we're here and nothing's behind us. So there's no shows going, okay, hurry up, get off for the next show. Let's give you the verse today before we get out of here. Whether you realize it or not, our relationship with the Lord can motivate others to seek him. You're right. So we need to ask ourselves, when others watch us go through things, do they witness our faith in his wisdom and provision? Do they see us going, okay, we're hanging our hat on him? Could they say our relationship with him is not words only, but a very real part of our life? Would you see that in me and in you? Or would they see that in me and you? Can they see his presence and our dependence on him in our daily lives? Some pretty sobering questions, really. Colossians 1:10 says, we pray this in order that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and may please him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work and growing in the knowledge of God. That's a great verse, Colossians 1:10. So if we let him, he will work through us and everyone will see how precious and loving and caring he is. Talking about the Lord, and how he can do that for them too by watching how we handle it and how we do it. That's the verse of the day, Colossians 1:10 here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Andrew Smith, thank you for stopping by. Sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News, Mr. Baseball, Greg Salyer, and, of course, just now, Braden Sweeney, the Assistant Athletic Director for Milligan University. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back at it tomorrow from Lingerfeld Drug Center in downtown Elizabeth. We'll be there broadcasting live tomorrow. New guest and more sports to talk about. Hope you'll join us in. Thanks for watching the show. And we'll finish it up as we always do by simply telling you, bloom where you're planted, and win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 2296 from Chick-fil-A here in Johnson City on this Wednesday, May 28th of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. See you back tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Lingerfeld Drug Center.